stream is live. 5-minute countdown. So, how's it going, Mitch?
Could be better with all the shit happening around our country in the last 2 weeks.
What, are you telling me giant nuclear toxic fallout is not what you had on your 2023 bingo card?
No, that was on last year's bingo card.
You know what? That's fair. Gonna get some drinking. Gonna get some drinking. Ah, shit, I gotta get an ice cube tray, don't I?
Why do you need an ice cube tray?
Because I want ice cubes. I'm living in a cheap apartment that doesn't have a fridge with an ice cube maker or a tray.
You're back to living in an apartment?
Yes.
Oh.
I got the fuck out of there. I'm still in Jersey, but, you know.
Congrats on getting out from under that horrible roof.
You know. Is what it is. Back to eating rice and burgers. Rice, eggs, burgers, garlic, onion.
I mean, there are several cultures whose staple food is rice, so they're doing something right.
Gonna get some potatoes. I mean, look, it's good. Look, the ShopRite is literally a 1-minute walk away from my place, right? I'm like 3 minutes away from town center, driving, and the town center's got some nice shit. Like, so small issue is I actually have to leave my apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been a major roadblock in my existence. Because, you know, like before when I lived up in Vermont, I could justify it to myself when I purchased groceries online and had them delivered to me that it's like, oh, well, you know, that's like a 40-minute drive both ways to get groceries. That's like 2 hours out of my life, you know?
Yeah.
So I could justify that. To me, it would just feel really weird if I called for an Instacart for the ShopRite that is quite literally a 1-minute drive away from my house.
Yeah, that's a bit lazy.
Yeah, like it would just feel like I don't want to deal with the whole this dude is so lazy he's paying me $3 to walk down the street for him. Like that is you know not too hot, not too hot. I'm probably gonna call an Instacart, however, and have them purchase Costco bulk products for me, because I do love my Costco. But ShopRite's been pretty good to me so far. I mean, I got 4 pork chops for $5. And I can cook those pretty well. I mean, all you gotta do is slap some. I got a whole mortar and pestle of salt and pepper right now that I ground out myself because it's like half the cost. So I just slap some of that salt and pepper on there, and yeah, I fry it in tallow and I slap some salt and pepper on it, and I got a tasty pork chop. Nice and succulent. Because, you know, I gotta say, for as much shit as I get from my family for my low-grade, air quotes, eating habits, at least I know how to fucking make food. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I swear, I cannot eat a pork chop at that house because they feed me dry shit. Like, I'll get a pork chop and I'm chewing on it and it's like fucking falling apart into dust in my mouth.
so that's always never good.
Yeah, it's not. It's not good. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And you know what? My stepmother, she cooks this like pork chop. I don't know what it is about the stuffing they use, but the stuffing they use tastes fucking terrible. And so that she cooks the pork chops in a dish in the oven, coated in this stuffing and onions.
Okay, what the hell?
And it just tastes it just tastes so fucking bad. I'm not even like I'm eating onion right now. I made onion rice. So basically, I took some rice, I cooked it, and then I took a whole ass onion and I chopped it and I just poured it into the bowl that I cooked all the rice in, and I just left the rice on low for like the next 2 hours, and I occasionally stirred the rice, and now the rice tastes alright, and the onion tastes alright, and it's healthier for me than just rice. Slap some salt and pepper in there as well.
As you do, of course.
But yeah, soon. My next meal tomorrow. I'm gonna take out this ground meat. I bought a whole pound of ground meat for $4, so that was nice again. I'm gonna take that ground meat. I'm gonna slap chop it into probably 2 burgers, and I'm gonna cook 1 burger for breakfast and 1 burger for lunch, and or maybe I'll have some rice for breakfast, and I'll cook a burger for lunch and dinner. Put some salt and pepper on it. Put an onion on it. Not chopped, sliced onion.
No, just the whole thing.
Not.
Just drop it in there.
Yeah, no. It's not. Oh, you know what? Actually, if I do chop it up, I could probably mix it into the ground meat because this is not pre-made burger meat. This is a ground meat burger.
Yeah, that's a really common thing is to finally chop onion and
Stuff it in
like
the
that,
burger.
yes.
Yeah. That's something. You know what? That's a good plan, possibly.
It
Yeah.
adds extra texture as well. I know this from experience.
Yeah.
I don't like eating onions. I like the taste of onions. I don't like eating them. Can't even tell when it's done right with ground
Well,
beef.
so see, the thing with onions is I don't like the cooked onion is a very mixed bag for me. But raw onion, I have no problems eating raw onion.
Huh.
Crunch. Move on.
I'm
Tastes
kind of
good.
the inverse, honestly.
Maybe it's just the fact that when you cook onion, depending on how long, it ends up being a weird slimy mess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, no, don't get me wrong though. Sometimes the weird floppy onion works very good with the sauce on the steak, and you cut a piece of steak and you stab some of that sloppy onion and you eat the whole thing in one go, and it tastes very nice. But just my history, like if I'm not at a steakhouse, I don't eat the floppy onion. Because my history with floppy onion, not great. But it's.
You prefer the erect onion?
I prefer the nice stiff onion. Yes.
Alright, good to know.
I also got some garlic. I can probably chop some of that up, mix that into the burger as well. I'll fry nicely. Fry it in tallow. That's gonna be good. Then on Wednesday, so tomorrow, tomorrow afternoon actually, so I won't have it in the morning. But I'm gonna grab some eggs from the family farm, and I'll start adding egg to the burger as well. So it'll be onion, garlic, egg, salt and pepper, handmade burger. It's gonna be nice, thick and juicy, fried in tallow. I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna die happy.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah, if you need a super simple seasoning for meat, just salt, pepper, and some garlic powder, because that's pretty cheap.
Yeah. I like the whole garlic though. I can't really taste garlic powder unless I use a lot. I don't know what it is about that. But we ain't here for that. We're here for some fanfiction.
Sneaky's fucking cooking show. I would
Yeah.
actually watch that.
Yeah, you would watch me cook?
Yeah, why not? Sounds funny as hell.
That's fair.
I might tune in for an episode just to see how horribly it goes.
What do you mean horribly? Dude, I've been cooking for years.
No, I know, but the moment you start doing stuff recorded, it just all goes awry.
Everything fucking bursts into flames.
Somebody spiked the onion with C4.
Somebody's the
That's impressive that no one spotted that.
It's not actually onion, it's just like a hand grenade with an onion shell around
Why is this onion ticking?
it. That's weird.
It's just a fucking stick of dynamite painted like an onion.
Why is there a pin in my onion?
I'm
Alright.
trying a strategy where I show up.
Now you tried not showing up?
Oh, okay. Apparently his internet just cut.
Yeah. Yeah, he tried a strategy of where he shows up, I guess. I mean, that's cool. I appreciate the effort.
His internet appears to have decided to help him in this matter.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, there.
Damn, I was hoping it would keep not working and I wouldn't have to hear the show.
Yeah, well, looks like you're still here.
I am once again reminded of the fact that I'm blessed that Sneaky doesn't care for most of my fandoms.
Yes, I mean, like, okay, look, though, like, let's be real here, though. Even if I played Fire Emblem, are you really gonna sit here and tell me that the amount of damage I could do to you is really any more than the damage you would do to yourself by just simply trying to find a Fire Emblem fic?
I mean, probably not.
Exactly. Like, you know, Fire Emblem is another one of those sections where it's just like, even if I really enjoyed the game, I would never fucking touch the fanfiction for it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, you know what? I'm gonna use this as a great example. We're gonna go fucking find some BattleTech, if there is even a section for BattleTech.
Okay, listen, I doubt you'll find any BattleTech. I think you're more likely to find it on, like, Archive than here.
You might be right. Yeah, look, there is no BattleTech. It's probably all been folded into MechWarrior. So let's go search MechWarrior.
It could have, but like I said, I feel like if you, like, I'm not saying we should look at any of it, but, like, if you just went to Archive and just looked to see if there's any of it. Oh,
There
boy,
is-
MechWarrior doesn't even exist.
No, it's right here. There is
Oh, there it is.
36 mercenaries stories.
Okay, we'll look at that in a
Why?
moment.
No, I'm looking at this now.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Why?
Why are the French here? Get out of here, French.
Ugh. Disgusting.
Uh,
32 in
say,
English.
The mercenaries and characters from
The
part of
last
the GTA
updated
series.
story is from 2012. There hasn't been a new mercenary
Whoa.
story in 11 years.
Okay, no, hang on a
turn-
second,
Turn
hang on
the
a second.
French back on.
That's a
And
lot
let's
more.
see
No, hang on,
when-
hang on. I
Yeah.
want to point out that's a lot more impressive than you think because the last Mercenaries game, there's not. I didn't somehow miss Mercenaries 3, right?
No, you didn't. Mercenaries 2. That was like 2010, though, wasn't it? 2008?
before like 1999.
What?
No, it's not that bad.
No.
Boy, first of all, 3 out of 10 on IGN,
Yeah.
1 out of 5 on Walmart.
Yeah. Mercenaries 2.
Um,
Yeah, Mercenaries 2 wasn't,
2008.
Yeah, okay.
So 11 years ago is actually more recent than you think, I guess?
I mean, look,
mean-
Mercenaries 2, Mercenaries 1 was extremely fun because its formula was just enjoyable. It didn't try
Yeah.
to do anything special. It definitely
Well,
didn't
no,
do
let's be
anything
clear.
special.
It did do something special in that it was one of the it's one of the first really open world games that I can remember.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. And,
Certainly, it was the first open world shooter. Well, not the first, but
and you
one
know
of
what?
the first.
Another important bit is the mercenary devs clearly wanted their fan base to enjoy the game, and they included the dev weapons, and the dev weapons were hilariously fun.
Well, it's not just including the dev weapon, right? There's a lot of stuff, a lot of the tools they give you to just
Fuck around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did they have to give you the ability to steal a vehicle and disguise yourself? No.
No.
Did they have to
You know,
give you
that was
a
cool. That was cool. Yeah. I'll
Did
give
they
it
have to give you a admittedly mediocre faction system? No. But it's there.
I mean, the
Did they have to
Russian
give you-
mafia was always hilarious. Just being friends with them was great.
Did they have to give you the ability to take a bus, drive up to your allies, honk the horn, and drive into battle with a bus full of NPCs
Yeah.
on any mission?
Yeah, that was great. Like, there was no cap to the amount of NPCs that could follow you, except for the part where you had to transport them, and so you could only have as many NPCs as you had slots in your vehicle.
Yeah. So you took a bus. An
It's the
actual
battle bus.
That is amazing.
Oh, it was great. It was fucking fantastic. Like, there was
Also,
great
if
moments.
you could get to a vehicle, it didn't even matter if it was mission specific, you could hijack it.
Yeah. All of them, yeah. And then the Russians would pay you money if you brought it to them.
Man, they loved it when you brought them North Korean helicopters.
God, and like,
Funnily
honestly,
enough, no one else did though.
Yeah, right. Honestly, it was very fun. Just because, like, the characters weren't the characters were stereotypes. Let's be clear here. The characters
they were
all stereotypes. And literally everyone was a fucking stereotype. The NPCs, the PCs, the different characters you had, but the lines were great. Okay, the lines were fantastic.
You had the crazy mercenary, you had the laid back mercenary, and you had the tough female mercenary.
Yeah. Like, it was just good. It was just good fun. It was just good fun. There was never a moment when I was playing mercenaries that I was like, oh my god, this fucking AI. Oh. Because, like, the AI didn't auto-spot me or do any horse shit like that. I wasn't swarmed with AI the second I got a fucking 1-star rating. You know, like, it was just a fun game. There was never moments where I was getting angry that the AI was fucking busted. And Mercenaries too, admittedly.
I think you're looking at a little bit of Road Code Classics, because I distinctly remember some times where I went, what the fuck is the AI doing?
No, there's a difference there. You know, we're like, look at like GTA 5, where if you have a 5-star rating and you aren't on the train with its invincible armor, you're dead.
Yeah, yes, the AI just infinitely smart. Yeah, I'll grant you that. I'm pretty sure I remember a couple times where like bugs happened and I like fell through the world and had to start missions over, or shitty checkpoint systems. In fact, I distinctly recall some shitty checkpointing. But
okay, there was some yes, there was some shitty checkpointing. However, I don't really remember too many bugs. Like, honestly, that the Mercenaries 1 came out during a time period where they didn't really do over the internet updates. And so, like,
no, they did not. That's very true.
When it came out, that was it. That was the game. There was no patching that. So, like, it was decently bug free. I don't really remember. What I'm relying on is my memory of highly emotional moments.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really remember having too many negative ones with Mercenaries. Mercenaries 1, that is.
Yeah, no.
Mercenaries 2 tried to lean on all the parts that no one gave a shit about in Mercenaries 1. They tried to do the Saints Row 1 thing where they were like, oh, you know, people really liked our game for the, you know, like the, I don't even fucking know the story. Like, the story was, they put so much emphasis on the story in too, and it's just like no one fucking
It's like,
cares.
guys, you missed the point.
The song was great. Oh no, you didn't. Amazing song. Still to this day, amazing song.
Okay, yes, fantastic. They just, it felt like they sort of got it, but they sort of didn't get it. Like, it's very odd.
Yeah. Around ahead of his time, Walbo wrote the neoliberal meme of women of color war criminal. Yes. Makina 40k fic is still going strong. Makina in 40k
Wait, what?
from Chainsaw Man.
Oh,
Makima.
I don't think she'd survive very long there.
I mean, I don't think many people would survive very long there.
Anyway,
Like, even with her abilities, like, lady, you are like an average Tuesday for a space marine.
more or less, yeah,
Maybe.
maybe. Anyway,
Well, no, she's more like an Eldar Tuesday, which is a really, really shitty Tuesday, but still a Tuesday.
Anyway, but I mean, Mercenaries 2, bad game. I love the weapons, and though, like the fucking Panzer cycle with the miniguns, that was just fun. That was silly fun. The fucking shanty town that you could run over and flatten with a monster truck, hilarious. The fact that you could seize control of a light cruiser and fucking bombard the shoreline with an actual fucking naval gun, amazing.
Pretty good.
Yes.
However, there was a lot of bugs. There was an obscene level of bugs. There was one time I phased through the floor while playing with a friend, and he didn't know what happened until he also phased through the floor, and then we teleported underneath the map, and underneath the map, for whatever reason, there was a mountain of water, and I mean, like, it was water in the shape of a mountain, and it was flowing uphill, and if you dived inside of the water mountain, hummingbirds rained from the sky diagonally.
You found
Average
some
day in
special
London.
dev load.
I was exceedingly confused. The Emperor
drunk?
is protecting Makima.
Why?
Why would he ever do that?
That sounds dumb.
Maybe he's thirsty.
There are far better waifus in Chainsaw Man than her, I assure you.
Sloppy blowjob.
I like that that's Max's objection.
No, she's a horrible character. If you go through Chainsaw Man and read it, I do not understand the simping for that character. It's a horrible character.
I haven't read Chainsaw Man, and I never will. But me horny.
Okay.
But,
Simple as.
That is an opinion you are allowed to have.
Excellent. Carry on, gentlemen.
a self-insert OC. There is 32 stories, and somehow one of them is a self-insert. Oh, well, I say somehow, but of course one of them is a self-insert OC, where they're a total badass, more badass than all of the original cast. What's the crossover section look like? There's a crossover with Mercenaries for the following stories. Harry Potter.
Oh, of course.
That's not surprising.
Somehow not surprising yet. Call of Duty. I mean, fair, yeah.
That could work.
I suppose.
Hangover.
Wait, did you say The Hangover?
Hangover, the movie Hangover.
Why do I see Phineas and Ferb on the screen?
Phineas and Ferb and Kim Possible. I am really confused about the Phineas and Ferb one.
I'm
I mean,
confused,
Click it.
but also curious.
I wish to know how they knew what they were going to do that day.
They're gonna commit war crimes.
Hell yeah.
Sneaky, hang on. The newest Phineas and Ferb story. Phineas and Ferb become members of the Adeptus Mechanicus.
When a mad scientist builds a weapon for North Koreans, one platypus with some help must capture the scientist and destroy the weapon.
I don't know why, but I'm really glad that they picked Perry for this plot point.
I don't.
Is the mad scientist Doofenshmirtz, just out of curiosity?
Probably not.
We're not finding out.
No.
Let's just, I don't know, just look at the Mech Warrior section.
Battletech,
Maybe it's
let's
not.
go!
Maybe it's not garbage. I mean, I know it's garbage.
It's absolutely garbage.
It's all going to be self-inserts.
Strike hard, strike level. Well, the other problem with Battletech is it has so much content spanning across 1,000 years.
Yeah.
That's like, alright guys, so my story is taking place pre-Imperium split, but post-Toaster Empire, and this is taking place during the sidelining of the furry Imperium.
And you're just sitting there going, alright, I know you said words, and I could probably go look that up on Sarna.
But Jesus Christ, I don't want to know. Yeah.
This is in 3048, pre-Helm Core discovery, about 4 months before the Davan Imperium fucked 17 children. What?
Yeah.
True.
And by the way, that was essentially the Battletech version of Two Truths and a Lie. Good luck guessing which is which.
I mean, the 17 children seem awfully specific, so I think that's true.
Actually, that's the lie. There was 324.
Oh, damn.
No, it was also, that's a lie. As far as I know, the Snyder House never did that with children. Can't be sure about the Lao though.
Anyway, so as I said, a warrior's family. In 3029, the great house lords are embroiled in the Fourth Succession War again. Comstar seeks to influence the outcome. Of course they do. This is not the story of great intergalactic leaders. There are any in Battletech? And forces. Rather, this is a story of men and women fighting the battles, trying to survive the plots and plans, struggling to live in a universe of constant war. Okay, so it's got 97 chapters, nearly 300,000 words. So, I mean, that's a decent amount of word to chapter outcome. It's been ongoing for 2 years and has 18 follows and favorites.
Ouch.
One might say this section might be a little dead.
I'd say it's about properly desiccated by now.
So, I mean, that is the problem with these smaller sections, is it's very hard to catch the eyes, but also at the same time, if your story is really bad, no one's going to read it. You know, this isn't the Naruto section where you can make a really shit story and still get like 400 favorites. But honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Battletech Mech Warrior stories that are like, oh, this is about the average Joe being caught up in everything. Because it removes a lot of impetus from the story if average Joe is just getting orders of go here, fight these people. And then it's like, oh, we gotta do life and death battle. And what did it mean?
What did it mean? We got paid.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. The problem is, you're either reading... another big problem with Battletech is there are 3 kinds of books. There's the book with nothing but fighting. There's the book about mercenaries. And then there's the book about political intrigue.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 kinds of BattleTech book. Sometimes you'll get a book that mixes a combination of A, B, and C, but never A, B, and C all in the same book. Like, honestly, I think one of the more interesting things you could do is just say, let's take BattleTech technology and stick it somewhere else, or let's take an isolated incident in BattleTech and stick somebody else's tech in there.
Yeah, honestly, BattleTech is one of those sections I would say the crossover stories would be more interesting of.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I think would be really interesting? BattleTech and Macross.
Yeah.
Because those are working on roughly the same power scale?
Sorta.
Like, okay, yes, Macrosses can fly, but there are BattleTechs explicitly designed to fuck up area space fighters, so... Like, they both have lasers, they both have machine guns. Yeah, I know, Macross eventually gets into some really crazy shit, but
yeah.
that's pretty far down the line.
I mean, honestly, though, what's nice about BattleTech is because there's so much specifically vague history, is that if you ever really wanted to level the playing field between, like, in this example, Macross and BattleTech, you can just be like, yeah, so the battle they had and barely won with massive casualties against the Macross, incursion. It revealed an ancient facility that just happened to be underneath the battlefield that the giant nuclear explosion revealed. And in the facility, they found Laws Tech.
Yeah.
And the Laws Tech, it's crazy. It does this. And there you go.
It doesn't even have to be a crazy amount of Lost Tech. For crying out loud, there's probably thousands of Star League bunkers left around the galaxy that nobody knows about.
Mm-hmm.
Shoved away in some little dink hole of the universe, right? So you could just be like, the Macross thing uncovered a Lost Tech bunker, or it showed them the way to a Lost Tech bunkers.
Right. And then you can even just be one where it's like, oh yeah, they uncovered a Black Knight Atlas. It's got rotary PPCs. Or some wild shit, right? Like, you don't even need to invent something bullshit. You can just be like, alright, technology, but better.
I was gonna say, I do think rotary PCPs are not something that exists. I would
fuck you.
Absolutely love to see it.
You wanna rotate your drugs?
I'm gonna rotate some plasma into your soul.
Max, the PCP is...
PPC.
Yeah. The PPC. Max, I want you to imagine that a beam rifle had a smaller, more rapid-firing child with a beam magnum.
What the fuck are you talking about?
That's a problem.
No, what are you talking about with the beam rifle? What?
The PPC from BattleTech.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, that thing.
Yes.
And I'm not... By the way, Max,
no, you are not.
People then decided that this is cool, but we can do better. So there's things like the extended range variant, which is basically a sniper variant. There's the snub-nosed variant for use in close quarters. But then someone decided the snub-nosed variant wasn't good enough, so they made one that's just a sawed-off shotgun.
Yeah. What if we just basically stopped having magnetic coils and just shot raw plasma at you? I'd probably fucking die. That's great.
What's the downside? I gotta be 2 inches away from you. Well, what if we put it on a mech with a hatchet?
Right.
Yeah.
What if we gave
jump jets?
What if we gave it to the Black Watch? That sounds like a great idea.
It is rapidly approaching your location.
Yo, listen. One of my favorite things in the universe is a Jenner with 2 PPCs and an SRM-8.
It is great.
And I am
Ugh.
rapidly approaching your location. If I arrive, you'll have a problem.
Oh god.
Consider death.
Oh god. Anyway, I was always a big fan of the deploy the absolute largest amount of heavy armor you possibly can, and victory through overwhelming number of bullets fired.
I mean, listen,
Falcon.
Sneaky, you forgot the most important ingredient to that success.
Yeah, what's that?
An LRM boat in the back.
Oh, absolutely. Like half my army is LRM boats. I'm sorry, you've been spotted. I now attack you 32 times with LRMs. Mark 3s.
Mark 3, what is this casual shit?
Hey, look, it costs a lot of money to outfit all of them with only LRMs and ammo. No armor.
Hey, listen. Unfortunately for you, the case system is not in that game by default. Okay, hang on. I do want to say credit to them when they were like, "Listen, there's a lot of stuff missing from the game,
Yeah.
but we've given you the
Mod tools,
ability
yeah.
to mod it relatively easily."
Yeah.
So yeah, like listen, they're like, "Listen, we cannot possibly fit everything we want to and everything that we know that you want in. So here, you put it in."
Oh god. Phew.
There's all kinds of stupid, crazy, wild, dumb bullshit in that game.
But anyway, yeah,
the
BattleTech
tabletop
sucks as a storyline, though. Like, I'm sorry, it does. The entire point of BattleTech / Mech Warrior story is just to facilitate giant mechs shooting each other.
And there's nothing wrong with that, except when they forget that that's what their sole purpose for writing is.
Yeah.
I think a really good series. Honestly, the Grey Death Legion, but I know. The title is the edgiest thing this side of the universe. But honestly, Grey Death Legion, excellent series of BattleTech books, accurately does a good job of doing politics while also having mech battles.
God, all of these are self-insert OC, goes on to start a mercenary group, and they become really cool.
Amazing.
None of them are even amusing to fucking read aloud. Let's go to the crossover section.
What section were we in?
BattleTech.
Ah,
Yeah, we just
we were
spent
talking
the last
about,
30
listen,
minutes about
there's lots of
mercenaries
cool
and
things
BattleTech.
in BattleTech, but BattleTech itself is kind of eh.
Anyway, Halo BT Lost in Space. Oh god, he's got a whole fucking
I mean,
series.
that's.
I mean, Halo
BattleTech,
and-
that's okay.
I mean, to be fair, the Blackwatch were basically Spartans at some points.
3 years before first contact with the Covenant that resulted in a devastating war that nearly destroyed humanity, a space-time anomaly engulfs all of the UEG, transporting them into the BattleTech universe.
I mean, I think it would be a lot more even if it was the Covenant versus UEG.
I was gonna say,
I'm
no.
sorry, no.
Yeah, I mean, humanity might
The
still be on.
UNSC would even pre-Covenant UNSC would absolutely fucking curb stomp BattleTech. Like, all of BattleTech's tech is based on their fucking ground forces. Their ships suck.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no.
it's
Not until like, it's not until after. It's
not until after what?
sorry. Until after the Helm Core gets published, there's really not much point in talking about tech.
Yeah. Like,
Like,
holy shit. I don't really see the point of Halo and BattleTech. Like, all of the UNSC is now in BattleTech. Wow, so they're just another faction that is immensely stronger because their tech went in a different direction. And it's like playing a Stellaris game where one single empire has warp drives and everyone else has hyperlanes.
Yeah.
Didn't they like remove the warp drive for the day?
Yes,
Yeah.
because it was fucking broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
the
don't
problem.
know.
Well, I mean, yes, they did take it out. The reason it got taken out is because, largely speaking, it didn't. You couldn't make a balanced game with 3 different kinds. It was cool. Don't get me wrong. It was cool. You couldn't do anything with it, right? They switched to just hyperlanes because hyperlanes let them add a much higher level of tactical depth to the game.
Yeah. Like, the middle ground between them was the gates, which they eventually repurposed into faster hyperlanes, effectively. Don't get me wrong, I love the modern gates. The modern gate system, very cool. But, you know, warp drives were just so fucking broken because, like, literally, if everyone else went hyperlane and the AI usually went hyperlane for some reason, probably because it just, like, made logical sense to it, and that it could actually, like, figure out where the fuck it was going. And you go warp drives, because warp drives are just the best. You could just navigate around every single defense.
And they did eventually bring that back at what, tier 5 or whatever?
Yeah, there's the emergency tier, the red tier, yeah. Jump drives. Which, I mean, you know, even then, I'm not a huge fan of jump drives. I'm not a huge fan of anything that lets you bypass a checkpoint because it defeats the purpose of having checkpoints in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
Or
that's
let
the
us then put
progression
in
of
a thing
tech.
that will force them to engage with us, or, right, like, one of the biggest things that they ever put in Star Wars was the interdictors.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Well, if you've got some kind of a checkpoint or a non-interdiction point, a non-exit point, or something like that, it seems like the natural progression of technology is to find a way to skip around that.
Right, it is, and you're not wrong. But the problem is, in terms of game mechanics, if your entire economy is based around buildings you have built around planets, and it requires the solar systems that you aren't building defenses in to be built towards economy to support your giant fucking empire, then the problem from that comes from the fact that they don't have any defenses. And if you build choke points, as you should be, to maximize the ability for your economy to function against the AI's literal endless free hordes, and then the AI can just skip around your choke point and take your entire empire before your army is able to react to it.
Yo, isn't playing against Skaven fun?
Skaven can't even do that, dude.
They can.
No, they can't.
Underway exists.
Yeah.
Okay, and the dwarves can do that, and the elves can do that, and the beastmen can do that. Literally
Okay, yes.
everyone
Actually, well,
besides
to
the
be fair, only
humans can
one
do
elf
that.
can do that. Only one elf can do that.
Okay, but well, the wood elves, and yeah, but still.
Oh
The
yeah,
wood
wood elves and
Like 6 of the 13 races in the fucking game, dude, having a way to skip around defenses. I don't want to fucking hear Skaven.
So it's unbalanced in a game, yes, but from a literary perspective,
Oh yeah, well yeah.
balance.
Yeah, duh, obviously from a literary perspective. But from a literary perspective, you have the ability as the author to say, actually no, they didn't go around the checkpoint because they decided that actually smashing the army was even more important because you know,
Smashing the
insert
arm
reason
was more
here.
important than breaking their lines of communication or something like that. Or even say like, yeah, you can go
Well, no,
past
I mean,
them,
here's the thing. There's a perfectly valid tactical reason for keeping for smashing an army, right?
it no longer exists.
Yeah.
The army that you smash is the army that can't murder you.
True. Yeah.
From behind.
Exactly. Right.
Oh, this is true, but if you cut the head off the snake, then wow, that army's
No,
gonna
you still have
usually
like
have
that
balance.
only works if you're dealing with some kind of like hive mind, like we killed Emperor Franz, but his trusted general is still,
His trusted general
here.
in charge of all the armies. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
there's a lot of things you can do narratively that can circumvent the game mechanic problem of being able to teleport around an enemy's checkpoint. It's just not fun as well. Anyway, so point being though is Halo Tech would just absolutely fucking thrash BattleTech, because why would the UNSC ever do a ground battle?
To deploy Master Chief.
To look cool.
Why would they
Yeah,
deploy? Why would they?
just say-
Why would they deploy Master Chief against a mech?
Because you're already deploying a small mech against a mech. They want to dab on them, alright?
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. There would be literally no reason to ever do it. Right? Here's a priority target. All right, mac it from orbit.
Yeah.
And yet they don't do that often in canon.
But that's because
Well-
the UNSC is on the defensive 99%.
Yeah,
of the
no,
Well, not only
95%
that.
they don't want to mac around their own fucking planet. You show them a Covenant planet, they'll like
Yeah, they'll
send
mech around the
so
shit
many
out of
mac
that. They
rounds.
literally
They'll
like.
send so many mac rounds.
I forget which one it was,
I'm gonna
but
point
they found
out
a
they
Covenant
invented
planet.
no. Hang
Yeah.
on a second.
Yeah.
They invented a planet-cracking nuclear
Yeah,
weapon,
I was about to
and
say,
one of the first things they did was launch it towards a Covenant planet.
Yeah, and then they cracked the planet.
It was very funny and also very war crime.
Oh, massively.
Little
It was
point.
hilarious.
In fact, they launched
yeah.
many of those,
Yeah.
and then several years later, when they were allied with those aliens, they were still going around going, "Hey, listen, please don't be mad. We found another one of those planet-killing nuclear devices heading towards you. We're dealing with it. We're dealing with it, but please don't be mad."
Yeah, well, no, that's
Great-
right.
Great team be like, we know they're coming towards them. We don't fucking give a shit.
We put it
We
through
sent
slip
them.
space.
We put it through there.
That is an interesting thing. It's like, so we found another one. We fired it 18 years ago, though, so you can't really be mad.
You're not allowed to
We
be mad.
shot it like 20 years ago. You can't be mad.
You did glass 2 of our planets, and that's why we did that. So,
It's a lot more than 2.
A lot more
a
than
lot
two.
more than two.
It's a lot more than two.
no, I mean, like at the time, like listen,
More
at
like
the time, you
200.
just glassed 2 of our planets at that time.
Oh no! By the time we launched the planet-cracking nuke, they'd glassed at least 10.
Overboard.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, the Covenant was taking 0 fucking prisoners.
yeah.
From the start.
Anyway, the point being though,
The
UNSC
funniest part is that it was all
loves
allowed.
war crimes. They adore war crimes. They wouldn't deploy Chief. Also, I'm sorry, but Chief versus a Jenner, Chief versus like any of the mechs, really. I'm sorry, the mechs are gonna win.
Well, no. The chief is
No.
no. There are armored suits in BattleTech designed for infantry to fight a battle
Oh.
mech, and the chief is basically a super version of that.
If he
I mean,
had a
have you
Spartan,
seen what this can do canonically?
if he had a Spartan laser, sure. But the
He
problem
wouldn't
is,
need that.
well, no, the
No,
problem
he
is,
would need some kind of heavy weapon
yeah,
at the
the
minute.
problem is,
He's not ripping. Listen, I know it's haha funny. He's not gonna rip a battle mech apart.
yeah,
They are quite literally designed
against
to
that.
be resistant to that stuff.
Yeah. The other point is that this is pre-Covenant UNSC. They don't have a Spartan laser yet. The best he's got at his disposal is a massive rocket launcher, which can only you can only carry so many rockets on you, both as a space issue, but also as a safety hazard, because strapping fucking live rockets to yourself like you're a jihadist bomber isn't exactly the best thing to do against
Unless your
mechs.
name is Fred.
Yeah, against
Unless your
mechs
name is.
that can, by the way, shoot actual laser beams that actually move at the speed of laser beams.
That sounds like he's gonna wind up stealing a mech.
Which would be believable, except for the part where he would have to get out of his armor to do it.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Yeah, he would not be able to pilot one of those mechs in his armor.
In fact, there's a very good possibility he would break a mech's control scheme just by trying to pilot it.
Yeah.
Do you know how to pilot this? No. Punch his console.
Does it anyway.
It requires a
need to?
lot of
Well,
training.
no, they actually did have an in-lore reason for why humans in general were able to just start using Covey technology, which is that, we're forerunners.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, that was hinted at from CE.
Yeah. Anyway, so, in line with absolutely fucking awful crossovers, we have This Could Be Worse. An SI awakens in Battletech with nothing but clothes, vague knowledge, I mean, that's just a given that you're going into Battletech, and mechanical friends. A Battletech Zoids crossover.
Oh no.
Voids?
Don't
sorry,
fuck
what?
Don't fuck with my childhood like that. No.
Yeah. Copeland Supply
Also,
Salvage.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, did you say supply salvager?
Yes.
Something? Okay, so he's probably self-inserting himself as BitCloud then.
Yeah.
Great.
Copeland Supply Salvage and Resale. This is a spin-off story of my other fanfiction. It takes place after But a Somehow Most Melancholy and Hunted Tribes. Please read those other stories before you read this story. I will not be recovering those stories, but rereading them will help you follow this story. Also, I have spelt every single word in the following sentence incorrectly. This fiction will also be slow. A Battletech Battlestar Galactica 2003 crossover with 83 chapters and 1.1 million words. 165 favorites. Ongoing for the past 5 years.
Oof.
Damn.
This dude's got a series? Okay, so we got Somehow Most Melancholy and Hunted Tribes. My dude, those... My dude, those stories don't exist anymore on your profile.
Good.
Okay, so he wrote a sequel to something that no longer exists. Cool. Awesome.
Well, you can probably find it.
Do we
Probably.
want to, though?
I couldn't give a fuck.
No.
The Coming Storm. It's 3020. Battletech Tom Clancy crossover.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Featuring Jack Ryan.
What?
I'm sorry?
Why?
How is he even alive at the time of Battletech?
With the inner sphere on the precipice, Jack Ryan enters the great game. Two interlopers, united by hardship and displaced in a galaxy of war, end up being teleported into the future.
Yeah, that just sounds fucking dumb.
Based on another fan fiction from Space Battles.
I'm sorry, this is a fan fiction of a fanfic.
Yes, it's a fan fiction of a fan fiction introducing a crossover AU self-insert OC.
Fan fiction is on another website, because fuck you.
And the fan fiction is on another website.
Cancer.
14 chapters, 380,000 words.
I'm
Woo.
Published over the past 2 years.
out. I'm going. I might be back. I don't know.
100 favorites.
Alright, bro, I'm gonna head out.
I
Bro, I'm gonna head out.
Bye.
Peace, good ice. Oh, God.
Hey, you know what? I just remembered I could be doing anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
By
you
all
could.
means.
Oh, okay, so I'm going to go into the Naruto section. We're going to the Naruto section, ladies and gentlemen.
Why are we going
We're
to
in
that
the Naruto
section?
section
I'm going
now
into my alcohol bong.
because I'm going to go grab some alcohol.
Oh,
Oh
Lord.
God.
Alright, boys, time for more Jaeger shots.
Time for the spicy liquid.
Oh no, he started singing.
Spicy. Time for the spicy.
He's very excited for his spicy liquid.
Alright, cheers, I'll drink to that.
Alright,
Oh,
I got
fuck,
some
that's
more
nasty.
Mr. Black here in front of me. Tasty. That's good shit. It's good shit. The good kid, Charles. The good kid.
For real.
Oh, wow, it's spicy liquid. Spicy liquid. Ooh. Alright, let's take stock. Who's still here? We got Sign, Nose, Atin, Max, Aura, and Arn. Okay.
Hell yeah.
We're still here.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
The moon rises at dawn. When
I thought you were gonna play Moon and Star, and I was really fucking confused.
When Jiraiya was tasked to find Tsunade, he wasn't expecting to stumble upon the village's long-missing Jinchuriki alongside her. He certainly wasn't expecting him to be wearing an Akutsuki cloak as well.
Why would he?
Funny.
An AU in which Nagato and Conan reject Obito and Zetsu, allow this to happen, they somehow split amicably, and Naruto joins them and gets trained by them after escaping Konoha at the age of 14 instead of earlier, because actually everyone graduates at a later age in this story. Also, Obito and Zetsu go on to form their own hyper-lethal killers group that oppose Nagato and Conan's peaceful hyper-lethal killers group.
Ah, yes, excellent.
Of course.
So, massive AU story featuring massive AU plotline, featuring massive AU Naruto, featuring a massive AU background to everything.
You keep saying words, but they all sound fucking stupid.
It's because they are. So, we're just gonna skip that. We're just gonna slide right over that one.
Hey, Sneaky, are there any Morrowind crossovers?
Morrowind?
Oh God!
Are you sure you want that?
With
I'm
like
just on it.
Naruto, or are you like
Just in is there some good ones in general?
Good.
Exist? Probably, yeah. Are they good?
No.
I don't know,
Elder
Chief.
Scrolls series?
That's why I'm asking. I didn't know.
English World, Morrowind. There are 9.
Total for Morrowind.
There are 9 stories, period. Ever
That's-
written.
So how many of them have
Morrowind.
an Argonian never are?
Marked as Morrowind.
Marked as Morrowind, yes, that's true. None of them.
That is surprising.
That's a
How
nice
is
title.
that
Not
surprising?
sure.
I was going to say, you know how some
Also,
Elder Scrolls players
the
like it.
first one's literally Kosovo fucking Kuroinu. Burr.
Jesus Christ.
That is, in fact, a bro moment.
My N was. Well, it's very
Horator,
analyzed.
tired
the
of
fuck up,
being a
Outlander.
puppet of fate and the gods. I mean, fair enough. That's fair enough. The Neverine was kind of the fate's bitch. The Neverine embarks on a journey to Akavir in order to build his own destiny. Okay. However, a series of unfortunate events cause him to end up on a new continent that doesn't appear on the map of Nirn. Okay. Nevertheless, he is still the Horator, so he will fulfill his duty to defend all Dark Elves, even if they aren't ones he knows.
Now, see, that would be a funny, spicy thing in Neverwinter.
That would be funny, yeah. But still, I mean...
My job is to defend the Dark Elves, but I really fucking hate these guys.
In Kuroino, it's just fucking sad.
Even fucking Dagoth would say that these guys are fucking cunts.
Yeah. Anyway, point being, though, is, I don't think this works. Again, if you want to be true to Elder Scrolls lore, putting Kuroino on the same planet does not fucking work.
Oh,
First off, their magic is all sorts of wonky because I mean, it's a fucking hentai story.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Of course.
Hentai magic is straight up just, bro, my dick is happy about this. I don't care how it works in real life.
NTR magic, man.
Shut the actual fuck up.
I'm shocked at the amount of female authors who make stories on Amazon. My dude, not all of them are women.
I was going to
female.
say some of them just have lady names because there's a few reasons for that. But there's also the fact that for some reason those stories sell, and so those people, pretend that they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also the forbidden T word.
Yes.
Well, it's not just that.
I was
it's the
trying
fact
to
that
avoid that.
female authors actually get promoted more in certain circles.
Oh, yeah, there's also that. Yeah, just telling Amazon you're a female author, and you just don't ever have to prove it. And you just automatically... Because you don't even have to use your real name when publishing on Amazon.
No, thank Christ.
I mean, you don't have to use your real name when publishing in a lot of places, Sneaky. That's not unique to Amazon.
Right, I know, but the point being is that a lot of people are under the impression that when an author publishes an actual book, that's their name.
Yes, you are correct. That is not, unfortunately, unique to...
I'm aware, but
Yes.
what I'm trying to say is that on Amazon, you can just post a completely fake AI-generated picture as long as you avoid the hands. And call yourself Jessica Smithings.
Yes.
And effectively, there's no way for anyone to ever know differently.
You don't even need a picture, Sneaky.
Well, yeah, I know that, but if you want to sell it.
Yeah, fair.
But anyway, so point being, Kuroino does not work in Oblivion. Their magic system is way different. Literally, Celestine is a descendant of one of the gods. That's not a thing that happens in Elder Scrolls, and because holy shit, if it was, shit would be way more fucked.
You say that with the I'm sure the next Elder Scrolls is going to have that shit now. HUD's listening to you.
I mean, fucking,
He knows.
what was it?
He
The Elder
knows.
Scrolls 2. What was the second one? That was the, Daggerfall.
Yeah, Daggerfall.
Daggerfall canonically has the agent effectively just erased from history.
Well, yeah, because literally every ending was canon except for literally one because of what they did.
Yeah.
So they were just like, you know what? No, fuck you. You don't get to exist anymore.
Yeah, you activated the brass god. Adamantium no longer exists.
Good job. You ruined it for everyone.
Would an
You
Argonian,
ruined it.
Neverine, or an Altmore Dragonborn be more out of place? Well, Altmore Dragonborn, it doesn't really matter. Because the soul is retroactively turned into a dragon by the god of time. And
I mean, at least it's
Altmar-
not a Khajiit Neverine.
Fuck a Khajiit.
But the Khajiit Neverine can unlock bones. Do not get it confused.
What are you talking about? I thought that he just summoned a shit ton of skeletons.
No, he unlocked bones.
Oh, that reminds me of fighting, you know.
Both of you.
It's such a good fucking meme. I fucking saw that. I was just sitting there like fucking actual stomach laughing.
Speaking, I feel that we should share.
Joe,
that.
what the fuck?
I feel that we should share that joy with people who have not encountered that joy. Also,
I'm not-
Jamie, pull up the
playing
clip.
that.
Jamie, pull up the clip.
I think one of my personal
Jamie.
favorites was a Khajiit will sell debt if you keep fucking around.
Oh god. But no, the Khajiit Neverine is just a funny meme. It's more, I would say Argonian Neverine is more out of place because of the specifically,
The weird Argonian shit.
yeah, well, weird Argonian shit, the weird Argonian lore behind the weird Argonian shit, and on top of all of that, they were also one of the most common slaves for the Dark Elves. But I mean, also does fit because he's got a very nice spear. It's a nice two-pronged spear. He's very good with it.
God damn it.
Have you seen those fellows from Redguard with their huge curved swords?
Yeah. Honestly, I would say Argonian Neverine is more out of place than an Altmer Dragonborn. Because again, you gotta keep in mind, he comes from a very nice swamp. You gotta keep in mind that Dragon God of Time, he can sort of pick who he wants to become the Dragonborn. The Neverine is actually a soul in the cycle. And is kind of just, it just ends up where it ends up. Yeah, as far as we know, canonically, the Neverine can't actually pick who they reincarnate as.
Yeah, Azura usually does that, and the joke among the community is she just picks random shit to fuck with Dagoth. I posted it.
Hey, you know what it's gonna be this time? A rabbit from the Wabbajack.
Have you seen the full Have you seen the full series of Gamer Girl Azura?
No.
No.
This sounds amazing.
Idiotic.
It sounds amazing. Also, I posted the video that me and Sneaky
basically-
were talking about in Fanfiction.
Basically, Azura decides she's gonna become a hickey neat and start streaming.
Oh no.
It's oh god, it's actually pretty funny.
That's that's idiotic.
It's great. I love it.
I didn't say it wasn't great. I said it was idiotic.
Yeah. Horator, Moon and Stars of Westeros. Oh, I'm sure that's going to be a great story. After defeating the dreaded Dagoth which again, Morrowind had, we always make fun of Elder Scrolls lore for being fucking wild. Morrowind was crazy if you actually, sit down and learn the lore behind the shit that happened in the game. It's like...
Reminder that Dagoth did nothing wrong.
Dagoth is actually dead. He's actually alive in the dreaming realm, and when he goes to sleep, he wakes up in reality.
Because he achieved Chim?
Yes. Sort of, yeah. He is the dreamer. Everything is reversed for him. It actually requires a fucking Putnit square to figure out what the hell is going on with him. Because everything is reversed for him. So normally how anything can happen when you're dreaming?
Yeah.
Well, anything can happen when he's awake in reality dreaming.
So he's lucid dreaming, right?
Yes, effectively. Into
Here's
reality.
The thing. He's lucid dreaming reality.
Yeah.
Yes.
We live in this lucid dream.
Yeah, it gets fucking weird. And then he reverses the states of everyone that he gives his blood to. That's why everyone gets fucking weird when they take his blood and his blessings, air quotes, the divine curse or whatever it's called. Because their states get reversed, so they become dead dreamers in reality. It's really complicated, and like I said, you need this whole graph effectively to understand what the hell's going on. And
I would say, and that doesn't even cover some of the more weird shit from him. Sometimes he just accidentally Zeus's people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oops.
As you do.
But sometimes he accidentally Zeus's people. Sometimes he accidentally Hera's people. Sometimes he accidentally Aphrodite's people into other genders.
Yeah.
The power of Chim is fucking weird.
The other part of Chim is, while you might also get superpowers effectively, you might also accidentally get eaten by the consciousness of reality.
No.
Average Tuesday.
And your soul, effectively, it's sort of like with Fate's Stay Night, where your soul can get eaten by Root. Reality can also do that to you, if you try to achieve Chim, and you don't do it right. Or your will was weak. Or it was a Tuesday.
Or it was Tuesday. I was going to say, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
It's just Also,
it's just RNG.
Following much like Fate's Stay Night, which I'm kind of wondering if Nasu was a Morrowind fan.
Yes.
Following Fate's Stay Night, whenever someone achieves Chim, no one else can follow their path. They can do something similar, but they can't do what that person did.
So eventually all roads to Chim will be locked.
Eventually, yeah, and then a new way will open because the walking ways. Don't worry about it. Basically, it's just, you just have to be such a fucking badass that reality bends to your will. There's a theory going on in Morrowind. So, the Armorer's Challenge is a book in the game, and you meet the Armorer in the Armorer's Challenge, and he is the best Armorer in the game, can teach you to rank 100, and he actually even sells special hammers that no one else has, and they're the best hammers in the game, to repair your armor with. And, the only issue is that the Armorer's Challenge happened 300 years ago, and this dude is supposedly a normal human. And he's only 60. And he's been alive for all those years. And so people are kind of thinking that he might be halfway down his walking ways of achieving godhood, simply because he is such a good armor smith that he made reality acknowledge that he was better at armor smithing than reality.
Technically, the player achieves Chim just by being alive.
Yeah,
well,
sort
no.
of.
You're
Sort
already immortal because you're the Dragonborn.
That sounds like some cultivation shit.
No, I was talking more about like the
No,
every single player.
In Morrowind, in Morrowind, Dagoth acknowledges that he will never defeat you because he knows that you know that it's also a game and that you can simply keep trying it over and over again until you win.
That's why technically those Dagoth memes are technically canon.
So, yeah. Elder Scrolls gets weird. That's the point. A bunch of cats got really drunk. Collectively, they got so high and drunk that they decided to climb to the moon, and because they all believed they could climb to the moon, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Elder Scrolls lore, but at the same time, it's just like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, didn't the guy who wrote most of it, constantly high as a fucking kite?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was 100% high all the fucking time.
He had so much cocaine.
No,
By the way,
true.
we're not joking about that.
Yeah.
That's documented. It is documented.
Also, it wasn't that. It was fucking mushrooms or something.
There was also coke.
I should apologize. The cocaine part isn't documented. The copious amounts of narcotics is.
Another great piece of lore that I always love talking about with Elder Scrolls is the existence of Lig.
Ligma bowels?
No. Actually, it's called the existence of Ling, because the alarm is going off. Wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up, Joe Biden.
Yeah, so effectively, that's where the guy of destruction comes from. He was a shepherd in the world that didn't exist. And decided that he didn't want to not exist anymore, so he destroyed the world that never existed, and then came to the world that did exist as the destroyer.
What?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't question it.
The world that didn't exist doesn't exist because the developers accidentally spilled coffee on the first map of the world, and they had to throw it out.
Okay.
Makes about much sense in canon as anything fucking else.
So yeah, that's where an entire species of demons come from. That's the crab people. That they all come from there.
Of course.
So yeah, how do demons technically work? Aren't they like the nightmares of the god or something like that?
So most of the Dremora are just fragments of the god themselves. The Daedroth? No, not Daedroth. Who are the fucking crab people? What's their name again?
I don't know the crab people. I know you don't mean the Fomor, do you?
No.
No, I'm thinking of something else.
The crabs from Oblivion. The crab centaur people.
Crab centaur people. Okay.
Yeah.
That narrows it down.
It should.
It really should. They're the only non-Daedra.
Huh?
Wait, okay, now I'm confused. The non-Daedra.
The what?
Daedra? Hang on a second.
Hold up the fuck.
Okay, so Daedra means everything without. Oh yes, the emperor crab, the crabs that are the size of continents that crawl upon the undersea crust of Tamriel. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry, what?
Don't worry about it.
Stop asking questions you don't.
Stop
Elder
asking
Scrolls lore is
questions.
weird, and Skyrim watered it down.
Yeah. Yes. So,
Extraordinarily a lot.
Daedra is everything outside of creation. So the Aedra is everything inside of creation, so all the gods that created the world. Daedra are all the gods that didn't create the world, and all of the fragments of them therein.
I thought they were just like two sides of the same coin.
No.
They sort of are. So the Aedra and Daedra both originated from the same creation force that created reality.
They're two sides of two different coins that also happen to be the same coin. Stop asking questions.
Yeah, it's like having two quarters, right? Yes, they're both quarters, but you used one quarter to buy a soda. The Daedra are the quarter you didn't use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, another way to think of it, you have two quarters. Okay, you have two quarters. But one quarter is just heads, and the other quarter is just tails. But if you put them side by side, you have a quarter that's heads, and you have one quarter that's heads and tails.
All right.
Yeah, it's great. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
By the way, what I just said may be one of the more succinct explanations for it.
Oh God.
You thought fate was mushrooms.
Fate has nothing.
Fate is eating too many edibles compared to trying to understand Elder Scrolls, my man.
Yeah, so basically, all of the Daedra that exist are pieces, except for Atronachs. Atronachs are actually manifested elements that have gained souls.
We don't talk about the Atronachs. They make things way more complicated.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. There's also flesh and iron Atronachs, which were created by Adric mortals.
Stop talking.
All right.
The less we talk about them, the more they don't exist.
Yeah.
Actually true on multiple levels.
So, fucking hell, I can't find them. Where the hell are the goddamn crab people?
Also, one of my favorite things about the Elder Scrolls, you can just make the wildest shit you could possibly imagine up, and half of the time you will have correctly guessed something.
Drug.
Bro. Yeah,
I
those
think
are
he
crappy.
found his,
Like, did I tell
crab
you about the
people.
time that the hunter got so butthurt that he turned someone into a zombie? Is that real? I don't know, but there's a good chance it could be.
Anyway,
That day at the time Neverine
The
opened
hunter,
bones.
you mean Hercene?
Yeah. Why he turned someone into a zombie? Who knows? How? Who knows?
he just did.
Who cares?
Just
For
reasons. And with magic.
Well, so the Daedra don't do magic. They kind of just tell reality this is how things are now.
This is how it be.
So, like, Fate is actually a really great way to bridge the gap of understanding here. It's like, so you know how Gay Bulge, it has the whole thing of the spear was thrust, so obviously you were stabbed?
Effectus cause, yes.
Yeah. Mehrunes Dagon, for example, has the effect of you were hit by his blade, so therefore you die.
Okay.
But
All right,
I
seems
want to point
fair.
out, Mehrunes Dagon, and more specifically his razor, is just an item. So imagine if someone could just steal Gay Bolg and be like, yes, I have thrust it at God, and therefore God has died. It does not matter that God is the man who makes this, and therefore makes this entire thing possible.
Actually, the only creature that the dagger doesn't work on is Mehrunes Dagon.
Oh, that's right. He did put that failsafe in.
It's not a failsafe. It's just functionally the dagger is him, so he can't hurt himself.
I mean, he can. You know, you just gotta wait until he's a depressed teenager.
Yeah. Anyway, so point being, though, is it literally works on everything else, though. So that's what makes Mehrunes Dagon so fucking dangerous, is that if he stabs you, you die, and if you die to Mehrunes Dagon, you never existed.
But then, who did he stab?
It doesn't matter.
That
Yeah,
may
well, you
actually
think
be the point of the
causality doesn't
dagger.
affect you?
You see, this is what... Well, the dagger's a little bit different. If the dagger stabs you, you kind of just die and your soul gets exploded. Way different than you...
Clowning in this bitch.
If Mehrunes stabs you, you stop existing. Retroactively.
So technically, he has a kill count of 0.
Yes.
Or infinite.
Yeah, because again, you gotta keep in mind, he destroyed the reality that never existed.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, remember, his kill count is either 0
Or yes.
or sideways 8, right?
Yeah, effectively.
Divide by 0.
Yeah, divided by 0. Yeah, actually, effectively, that's actually how you get to Lig, is you magically divide by 0. I'm not even kidding.
That was, in fact, one of the options.
There was a lot of weird games in that era where just like the weirdest shit could happen. Just like wizardry, fucking Heroes of Might and Magic. Shit was weird.
No, Heroes of Might and Magic is a special place in hell.
So, yeah, anyway. Elder Scrolls lore is wild, and it really pisses me off when people fuck up doing crossovers with it, because it is literally so easy to pull it off. And they just somehow manage to hit every single incorrect answer on the way down.
Some people are just skilled like that, Sneaky.
Yeah.
I think it actually takes more skill to get wrong answers in the Elder Scrolls than it does to get right answers.
Pretty much, yeah. So yeah, Westeros, a moon and stars. After defeating Dagoth, the prophecy is completed. This action casted him out of reality after the destruction of the Heart of Lorkhan. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Potentially canon? Sure. Now the Neverine is in a new realm that is simultaneously unrecognizable yet similar. The Neverine must now navigate this dangerous world to find his home.
He must navigate.
Yes, he must navigate. Look, all he needs to do is he needs to unlock the boundary between the worlds.
Oh, fucking God, shut up.
No, listen, he just has to find a way to send himself back in time to tell himself how to send himself forward in time so that he can start making 13 clones of himself.
Okay, Zinch.
Fucking no, I know what he's quoting and I hate it.
That's Kingdom Hearts, baby.
Oh, motherfucker.
How did the massive Kingdom Hearts mark not get that faster than the rest of us?
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm not sure.
Tired. I'm very tired. That's my only excuse. It is a cope. I understand this. I'm very tired. I'm sorry, everyone.
Another great fact about Elder Scrolls lore is technically the Imperials built a space station outside of reality that technically wasn't on Tamriel or in space.
Wait.
Please don't talk about that.
Wait.
No, Max, don't ask questions.
You know,
Just consume.
people always joke about Warhammer wiki diving. I'm gonna need to start doing Elder Scrolls.
Oh, Max,
No,
that's
Max, you don't
Sounds
Elder
like a
Scrolls,
flooding.
one does not Elder Scrolls wiki dive. One free falls. There is no diving involved. You are being dropped from high atmo straight into the Marianas Trench.
That's a description.
Oh no.
It's also not an incorrect description.
Orbital strike inbound.
Orbital striking the Marianas Trench.
Stand by for Titanfall.
You're freebasing from the top of Mount Everest down to the Marianas Trench, baby.
And Freebird is playing.
Freebird is playing. You have 2 jet engines strapped to you.
Okay, nice.
Here we fucking go.
It's just
Akatosh,
keeps
he's not
escalating.
guilty. He was playing Freebird.
It's just like Elder Scrolls.
Your Honor, my client was playing Freebird. He had to hit the gritty.
Not even Akatosh can
Your Honor,
override
he was
that.
playing Freebird in public. He had to be killed.
But in all seriousness, though, if we're going lore-wise, the skeleton key is technically not a key.
Of course it isn't.
Why? Because it can open bones.
Yes.
Rattle me bones.
So no, quite literally though, the skeleton key is a concept of a lockpicking key that can lockpick anything.
Oh, Nocturne's thing.
Yes, it is used as a key because everyone just sees the key and goes, oh, this is a key, so that's all they can use it for. But if someone approached the key going, Lamau, can I unlock my soul? The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. We don't encourage this.
Quite literally, you can also do shit like unlocking your full potential and using the key on yourself to quite literally unlock your full potential in a single second.
And then explode.
No. Because you're at your full potential, so you're able to withstand the energy.
I am 90% certain I remember that being a mission to use the skeleton key in ESO, and now I'm upset that...
Oh, in ESO, maybe.
Oh yeah, in ESO though, yeah, there's a mission.
Now I'm upset that
Well, ESO
I'm
is
learning
weird.
this amazing lore, and they didn't do anything with that in that.
Oh,
fucking
Well, that's
It-
because they don't want to.
The best part is that everyone else wants to keep Nocturnal on their good side because she can use the skeleton key to unlock a
Unlock
path
them.
into their realities.
Nocturne is dangerous.
I'm sorry,
It's
to unlock a
dangerous.
path into their what?
And so each Daedric Prince, because they didn't spend the energy the Aedric did on creating the world, they all created their own realities, which is called the Realms of Oblivion.
Yeah.
And so each of their realities mimic their personalities, I guess you could call them. Another thing to keep in mind is that all of the Daedric are less personalities and more a collection of concepts and stereotypes fit into the shape of
Yeah.
a person.
Like the
Well,
orc god wants you
No,
to
let's
fight.
be clear. A roughly person-shaped being.
Yes.
You're not gonna convince me that Hermaeus Mora is person-shaped.
I mean, he might be. You never know. It might
It
be.
could be.
She might be.
If he
You know,
wants to.
it depends.
Left
Day ends in Y. Hermaeus Mora is Hermaeus Mora. That's also why Sheogorath and Jigalag were both so incredibly dangerous that all of the other Daedric princes teamed up to fuse the two. So Jigalag was the Daedric Prince of Order, and he was so powerful because the entire universe was ordered that he could 1v24 the entirety of the Pantheon.
Oh, damn.
It's we're going down the stupid stuff again.
I know, but it's great. It's funny.
I'm not saying it's
Let's
not
keep
funny.
going.
I
Let's
just
keep going.
I can't help but like start chuckling every time because it's just
And so all
Simultaneously
the
the
gods
greatest-
teamed up together to make Jigalag into the god of madness, so he actively fought himself.
as the god of ordered madness.
Yes.
Something Malal.
Literally. Again.
Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead, Max.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he was turned into Sheogorath, or they introduced Sheogorath?
So, because of how the
Yes.
Daedric princes work, the answer is actually yes.
Okay, so what happens if they decide it would be more fun to 2v24 the Pantheon?
They can't because their concepts are opposites of each other, so quite literally them existing at the same time causes one of them to kill the other.
Okay, but I mean, just conceptually, what could be more orderly than bringing chaos into line, and what could be more chaotic than having order?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
part of the plot line of the Shivering Isles.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That
Don't
Also
worry, Max. The drugged-out lunatic thought of that one too.
Yes, don't worry.
Also
He-
cheese for some reason.
He
Don't
is
worry about
12
that one
steps and diagonally ahead of you.
Alright, the next time I feel like I'm
Motherfuckers
having a
are just
headache
more-
from like Dark Souls or Elden Ring or Fate or Blade or like any of my like really weird shit,
Yes.
I'm gonna try to remember the tale of Jigalath and Sheogorath now.
Yes. It's great, because technically Sheogorath never existed until he did, and then he retroactively always existed.
We do a little trolling.
Don't worry about it.
That's some
also,
bullshit.
also, because Sheogorath is the god of madness, he also retroactively made a way to pass on himself to other people, even though he's never done it before. But because he retroactively invented the way to do it, he's always done it before, and so therefore that's why you can take on the power of Sheogorath. Is because you always were Sheogorath, because retroactively you never were not Sheogorath. Who made the ritual to give yourself the powers of Sheogorath.
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect
Yeah,
sense.
Sounds,
Yes.
sounds
Yeah,
reasonable.
of course. Why not?
Yes. Yes. This is sensible. Stop
And
questioning Ratman.
Sheogorath and Sanguine are
This is very sensible. Stop questioning Rat Thing.
are I think two of? Yeah, it's like Sheogorath, Sanguine, Hircine, and like Meridia are like the only Daedric princes that are actually allowed on Tamriel by the Dragon God of Time, because he finds it funny.
Understandable.
He
It-
finds it funny.
Yes.
No, you don't understand. He quite literally allows them to exist.
Yeah. If the Dragon God of Time didn't want a Daedric God to exist on Tamriel, they wouldn't be able to.
And
he
But
finds
sure,
it
yeah,
funny.
he-
and then the entire plot of Oblivion is that a guy named Molag Bal got uppity about God allowing him to exist and decided that he was going to exist whether or not God wanted him to, and almost succeeded at replacing God, which means he would have always been God, and then God had his 1/20th of a power manifest on the plane and slap him in the teeth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oblivion's story is barely there.
Right.
Oh, by the way, don't forget, the lizards counter-invaded.
Yeah, yes, the Argonians counter-invaded Hell.
They also
Yeah.
counter-invaded
the Ar-
Morrowind, which was
The
incredibly
Argonians are
depressing.
hilarious.
They successfully, though, here's the other thing, they successfully counter-invaded Hell. And Hell was
Hell
so
opened a
scared
gate.
of them that they
Hell-
kicked all of the Argonians out and then stopped invading Argonia.
No, I want to be clear. They invaded Argonia. Argonia beat their asses. Then Argonia counter-invaded. They desperately kicked every single Argonian out, and then went close every gate and never open one there again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Lizard. So the other thing, though, is the reason why the Argonians were capable of invading Hell is because they're tree supermasters who were technically from an alternative reality that was not the alternative reality that didn't exist. This was an alternative reality that existed in the future that no longer exists because the trees, who are actually giant superorganisms, went back in time, causing the Dragon God of Time to have a seizure to retroactively create the concept of dragons so that he could stop having seizures.
What? Huh?
And
Don't worry
also
about it.
so that he could continue to be the god of time, but he also had to be the god of dragons.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm zoning out here and it makes not as much sense as when I was zoned in.
Yeah, so anyway,
Okay.
Monica Wind? Imagine if Monica escaped Doki Doki Literature Club
Oh.
and entered into Morrowind.exe, the heavily modded version from the user's game. She is playing the game, but is also inside it, but is also now a gamer. If you like this story, it'll become a big story. She explores many games. I'll let you suggest which other games that she jumps to.
What is this retarded horse shit?
Consider the role.
The author wants to write a Just Monica jump chain in where Monica jumps to other games.
No.
Yes. Life has many doors, Ed boy, and they all start with Monica.
Life has many doors, fed boy.
And they were all fucking claymored up.
Ash Petal. 2 years ago, Ruby Rose disappeared from Remnant, presumed dead, as the world spun on. With the initiation of Beacon Academy happening 2 years later, she returns, alive but changed, as she is now the Neverine.
Oh, wait, Sneaky, quick. Can you link the, whatchamacallit? The Gamer Girl is there a story?
The Gamer Girl... Oh, no, it's not a story, that's like a comic series. Just Google that.
Damn.
Yeah. There's really not much else good going on here that I can even make fun of or laugh at. Avatar: The Last Airbender, Elder Scrolls, that's stupid and dumb.
Listen, getting like, okay, in theory, anyone from the Elder Scrolls universe would lose pretty much everything that makes them special upon going to the Avatar universe, and you can't put the Avatar universe in the Avatar in the Elder Scrolls universe without hideously ruining the Avatar. Like,
well, I mean, no one would
moving
be
the
able to
Avatar
bend.
out. Well, I mean, yes, they won't be able to bend, but even leaving that aside, you have now forever ruined the Avatar universe.
True. Yeah. 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 Shadows Rising. The tides of fate are changing as shadows rise. To consume the dawn as fate calls him to a world that lies under a shattered moon. Will he hold the tide and conquer darkness, or will he be consumed by it? Dragonborn times Amber.
Times
Hey,
what? What?
Amber, remember the original Fall Maiden?
No.
Yeah. She had all of one scene in Ruby.
And then she died.
Yes.
She went to a
No,
concert.
she was put in a tube.
She went into the tube. She got put in a jar.
Oh no. Oh god, oh fuck.
Oh no.
Also,
The
so
Google jar.
first off, Dragonborn is... If we're talking about, like, post-story Dragonborn, dude's gonna be fucking crazy strong. I'm sorry, there's no chance of him being beaten by the Grimm. It's just not happening.
He's basically a god at that point.
Quite literally.
Not basically.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he ate the soul of which dragon god?
He
just ate the soul of the dragon who's supposed to end the world.
No, he actually never ate Alduin's soul. At the end of Skyrim, Alduin's soul is actually recalled by Akatosh, so he can have this argument in the future later on again. Because...
Okay.
Yeah, so basically the entire plot of Skyrim is Akatosh, the dragon god of time, decides to have an argument with himself of whether or not reality deserves to exist, and Akatosh is having this argument by having one person be the Dragonborn, which is the dragon killer, and one person be Alduin, which is the World Eater. And whoever wins is the winner of the argument with himself, which therefore means that that result is the one he obeys, because he successfully argued with himself.
Because remember, the dragon language is just shouting.
Shouting reality into submission, using the
It's
dragon
just a
god time.
conversation.
Yeah.
So the dragon language is. Oh my god! It's just.
The dragon language is quite literally the words of creation being enforced upon the world through sonic waveform.
I'm just thinking about the fact that it was basically made to be an argument medium. That
Yes.
Yes. No. In fact, the load tips in Skyrim will tell you that when you see dragons battling, it's really just them having an argument.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
They're arguing about. It's like arguing about super stupid shit, and it's just like an epic
It
battle.
could literally be your waifu is shit.
Right, it's trash!
Skyrim.
sorry.
Yeah.
But that oh, I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at the idea now. Like you stumble on two dragons.
Mhm.
One's using ice breath, the other fire breath, and the argument is literally if it's too hot or cold today.
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Yep.
Congratulations, you have correctly discerned how dragons argue.
Who the dragons are in the joke and just start doing the fucking Sonic Adventure 2 dialogue.
The
You're
other fun
comparing
bit is
yourself
that
to
the reason why completely mundane people are capable of learning how to dragon shout, but it leaves them horribly exhausted and forever changed, is because learning about the words of creation quite literally engraves the concept into your soul. And as you are not, in fact, a god or a fragment of the god like the dragons are, getting the word force, for example, engraved into your soul makes you aggressive.
Imagine that.
Makes sense. The thing takes over.
Yeah, quite literally. And also, imagine using dragon shouts as a mortal versus a dragon, as you are a bucket of water versus the dragon is a hose attached to a fire hydrant. Is the dragon has effectively infinite water, and you have a bucket that refills when it rains. And I'm not even joking about the raining part, because that's where magic comes from.
Or, you know, the stars.
Well, the stars aren't stars, they're holes in reality, which leak god energy into the world. Which is what I'm trying to say. It's like basically like raining upon you, is it slowly mists down from the holes in reality, and then you absorb it over time to refill your magicka.
But
Yeah.
if you do it slow, guess what? You can get more magical
Yeah.
without hurting yourself.
Yeah.
You can expand the bucket.
Yeah, you can expand the bucket.
You can expand the bucket, and you can also increase the rate at which the bucket refills.
Yes.
How about I just hook a hose up to the night sky?
You die. You explode.
I'm
Literally.
not putting it into me, I'm putting it at somebody else.
You also explode.
I also explode, okay.
Yes.
From
So
being
it's
too near
more
the
like-
bucket. It's like
Tapping a live wire.
Yes.
yeah. You might be able to put the live wire into someone else, but you're still holding the live wire.
Yeah.
And then you go popping. You
Yeah.
die.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the slight downside. But, however, again, this is the whole walking ways thing where you become such a badass you get to hold the live wire and not die. Yeah.
Sounds like cultivation shit.
It is. I mean, it's basically
It
the
is,
prequel
but it's
to
less
all of it.
stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is pretty stupid. It's just far more entertaining. To me.
Well, okay, here's the thing. It's more entertaining because you get to do the cultivation shit, but there's already been people who have been cultivating for a bajillion years.
Yeah.
So,
that's,
you know,
that's cultivation.
watch your step.
That's literally
I
called
mean-
cultivation.
both are essentially looking at the universe and demanding, "Who the hell do you think I am?"
But the Elder Scrolls one is funnier. It does not take itself anywhere near as seriously.
Amusingly, actually, is trying to fight the universe actually ends up with you dying. The two people that successfully chimmed, as far as we know, are both people who saw the universe, accepted the fact that the universe is the way it was, and therefore their egos weren't crushed by reality. That's why one's called the poet and the other one's called the dreamer. But, yeah.
Oh, well, and of course, then don't forget everybody's favorite part of Elder Scrolls lore, which is that if you sell your soul to a demon and or a god, the best way to keep yourself from actually having to follow through on that deal is to just start trading that soul around like it's a cheap whore.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, okay, so Daedra, Aedra, they can't they can tell if you've interacted with another deity. But, and this is a really important part, they don't get your soul until you die.
Yeah.
Right? So they might be able to go, you smell like Molag Bal. But I don't know if that's because Molag Bal was giving you the worst day ever, or you sold your soul to him, or you just happened to pass someone who works for him.
Yeah.
Or he farted in your general direction.
Yes, but so you see, this frees you up to then. Now, of course, you have to be a really special, cool person to get away with this in the first place. But you can go, Molag Bal, I'm going to sell you my soul for power. And Molag Bal will go, yeah, I do this deal all the time. Let's shimmy. And then you can go to Hirsine and be like, yo, dude, I'm a master hunter. I want to work for you forever. And he'll be like, and he might be like, yeah, okay, we can do that.
Well, see, actually, Hirsine is special, and both Molag Bal and Hirsine are special, because they both have the ability to grant a power that engraves itself into your soul, unlike everyone else, where you kind of just, like, attach your soul to them. Hirsine's werewolf literally changes your soul.
Okay, yes.
So
So you do them last. But my point is, like, if you... Like, if Meridia goes, another hand touches the beacon and you are my chosen, you don't actually have to do anything, and she can't actually do anything.
She also doesn't tend to reap the people that do work for her, because she's all about the whole natural order thing. That's actually why she became a Daedra in the first place.
I know, but my point is that working for her means nothing. Working for Debelia, whatever?
Dibella, yeah.
Doesn't do anything.
Yes. Yeah.
So you can work for her and then go work, right? You can just start passing your soul around. And what is funny is that the more you pass that soul around like candy, the more delicious you get.
Yeah, because fun fact is actually, the more epic you become, the more everyone wants you after you die. And if everyone wants you, well, they can't actually take chunks out of your soul, because that would destroy the soul, which would destroy their
It's just
prize.
like a whole list of IOUs.
Yeah, it's literally a whole list of IOUs, and quite literally the main character is the only one that can get away with it, because in the Morrowind, you're the Neverine, and ain't no one gonna keep you. I mean, maybe Azura can, but she's probably gonna fucking die if she tries, because you're the Neverine. In Oblivion, you turn into Sheogorath, which means you always were the Daedric Prince, which means no one gets your soul. In
Skyrim, you already belong to Akatosh.
Yeah,
so
you're the goddamn Dragonborn, and they have to fight the Dragon God of Time if they want your soul, which ain't happening.
It's like this. You start handing out IOUs, but your dad is both the president and the head of the FBI, and also Agent 47. So they can try to collect on the IOU.
Agent 47?
Yeah, quite literally, that's why Nocturnal tempts you, Hirsine tempts you. Like, they're all like all of the Daedric princes that actually want to recruit you all tempt you because they can't actually fight Akatosh, but if they can make the deal sweet enough to make you agree to become their underling forever, well, then there's nothing Akatosh can actually do about that.
I mean, he can.
Yeah, but Akatosh is very hands-off. Yeah.
Right, that's the point. But if you, and that's the other thing, like, with the exception of like Hircine and Molag Bal, they don't really have the ability to enforce a deal. Like you can say to one of them, "I'll give you my soul." That doesn't mean anything. It's not a binding contract.
I mean, it is
So
if you
then-
take up the weapon and become their champion, then your soul gets, like, fucking marked as an IOU to everyone else, but complicated stuff, anyway.
Yes, but on the functional level, right, you can give multiple people that IOU, and then, or, right, if you're just have a strong enough backer in your corner, then, you know, what are they going to do about it?
What in the absolute fuck? Tale of the Dragonborn, the Dragon Uprising. As they finally return home to Skyrim after many years away, two OCs are pulled into a conflict, and the female OC finds out she's actually the Dragonborn. But once she gets to High Hrothgar, she discovers that Harry is sleeping on a stone slab. Who is he? Dragonborn times Balgrove. Why?
Now, you know what I think would be fun?
Yeah.
Sheogorath visits Harry Dresden.
Oh no.
Just visits him.
Just to say hi.
See, actually, that's the funniest part about Sheogorath, is he would absolutely show up and do nothing.
But that's my point.
He'll
just show up.
He would, like, show up, be in Dresden's, like, kitchen, cook him, like, a ham, a very nicely done ham, too, eat all of his cookies, and then just leave.
Oh, and Mouse would just be like, hi.
And that's it. And he wouldn't do anything else.
Oh, hey, dude, what's up?
He might dispense some world-shattering knowledge for fun.
Mister might get annoyed.
Retroactive world-shattering knowledge, too, probably. He'll say something completely inane and random until, like, 4 weeks later, Dresden happens across something, and that inane random bit of information that Sheogorath said 4 weeks ago, suddenly, in retrospect, explains everything.
Oh, it makes sense now.
Wait, the crazy dude in my yard, the crazy dude who was sitting on a lawn chair on a beach in the Bahamas that was inside my apartment was right?
Right. Pretty much, yeah. And
Of course.
Or alternatively, he just shows up and is like, bippity boopity, you're now a poopity, and turns someone into a pile of shit made of corn.
I mean,
No, Stinky, take it to the next level. He turns someone into a pile of corns from 40k.
Indeed.
It's just a bunch of chairs sitting on each other like in Gmod.
Zippity zap, your dick is now whack! Penis explosion!
Oh.
The way he leaves, he just like ragdolls like a Gmod prop.
I mean, again,
The ball burster.
all completely inside of Sheogorath's wheelhouse.
And for some strange reason, there's just someone in someone's like view. There's just like the script of something is creating script errors.
Now, see what I want to see. I want to see Sheogorath show up on Blackreach, and Blackreach just be pants-shittingly terrified. How did you get here? How did you get here?
Yeah.
There's reasons.
Yeah, I just walked.
Followed by Sheogorath going, I can give you ultimate power, and Blackreach going, he could. He actually could. You should probably take him up on that. It would make this place way more secure.
Here, Dresden, have the Wabastaff.
Oh no.
Oh my lord, can you imagine how hilariously that would change the final battle?
Oh no!
Oh no.
Yeah, yes, I see. You are an ancient entity. Wappajack. Wappa what?
Womp.
You are now rabbit.
I haven't actually finished Justin, so yeah.
I didn't tell you which deity, man.
I kind of figure it's one of the outsiders.
Anyway, Trailer Park Boys Skyrim. That sounds incredibly cringe. The Dovahkiin's Devil Song. Saji wakes up remembering he was the Dovahkiin.
Oh no.
Nope.
Oh no.
Merged Elder Scrolls DXD lore.
That is a disaster.
No.
Oh hell no.
Oh god. Don Machi Elder Scrolls crossover. The Dragonborn has been living in seclusion after everyone around him dies of old age, and then Akatosh shows up and is like, yo, I'm gonna send you to Don Machi now, and you can, like, go start a family there or something, right? And so
Hey,
he
quit
does.
being sad, you little... I mean, that's essentially what this is.
Yeah. Dragon of the Whirlpool. Naruto is banished and goes to Tamriel. Holy shit, no. No.
Why though?
Like, literally, Naruto and Elder Scrolls functionally cannot cross over with each other by the sheer fact that Elder Scrolls lore existing means Naruto could never have happened. Because there is no outer space in Elder Scrolls. Like the moon is actually not in space, it's just really high up.
I mean, well, technically.
And, like, the stars are just holes in reality, and actually, the sun is the biggest hole in reality. And I'm pretty sure Tamriel is actually a flat Earth.
No, it's not, because people sail around it.
That does not disprove flat Earth theory in Elder Scrolls.
That's...
Okay.
Like, I'm sorry, but it's just like Naruto fucking cannot just travel by boat to Tamriel. That's not how that works.
Shagora wanted it to work that way, so it did.
Yes, there's that. But also, if it was a jutsu accident or something, he was using some space-time jutsu bullshit. Okay, sure, fine, whatever.
Right, but the thing is, though, is to make a crossover between the two, like, genuinely happen. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Blood Ties. Blood Ties was an amazing story for what it was. Blood Ties is that Minato was actually an orphan from Skyrim who traveled by boat to the elemental countries. And then the Dragonborn, who went the mage route, shows up later on because Minato was his, like, cousin or some shit, and he was chasing down leads for where he disappeared to. Okay. I love the story. But, quite literally, you would have to fundamentally change the entirety of Naruto because the origin of chakra are from a galactic empire that came from space. And that's not even Boruto lore, that's Naruto lore.
Yeah, that is just right there.
So you would have to fundamentally change Naruto lore's backstory. just wholesale. Like, you can't even make Kaguya a god because what she's a god of, because Elder Scrolls have all of their gods be quite literally concepts. What concept does Kaguya have?
Bitch.
No.
No. He has a point.
He's onto something.
Let him cook.
I mean that, by the way, I do mean that in terms of, getting their ass beat. Like a punk ass bitch.
You just want to keep digging that hole, don't you?
I do. No, hang on a second. God lost to two 20-year-olds.
I mean, they weren't technically a
They weren't
god.
even 20.
They weren't technically a god, so, I mean...
The being of near incomprehensible deity-like proportions and powers lost to two 20-year-olds.
Yes, well, you know what?
Because of the power of friendship.
You know, I think that would cause Tanya actual conniptions. That she was... Because, like, she would be proven correct that beings of incomprehensible power can in fact be beaten. She would get fucking seizures over the idea that the power of friendship was vital into their defeat.
Yes.
But then she would immediately...
I cannot believe this
She
god
would
was
immediately start a cult.
No, embrace shonen entirely and go for it.
Like
No,
I
they
said,
wouldn't.
start a cult.
They would not. Here's the problem. Tanya is fundamentally incapable of friendship.
Like I said, she would
That's what starts a
try,
cult.
but she would start a cult. Not intentionally start a cult. She would try being everyone's, air quotes, friend by her understanding of what friends socially contractually do for each other.
Yes.
Which starts a cult.
So she doesn't need to, power of friendship herself. She gets everyone else to power of friendship and uses that.
Like a cult.
Exactly.
Y'all just keep repeating sneaky.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Dragon Aid's origins.
Dragon Age, yes.
Hang on, no, Sneaky,
True,
I'm
yeah.
upset.
Yeah?
This is going to be a very Dota-specific problem,
Uh-huh.
but Sneaky will understand why I'm upset.
Okay.
Yatoro clipped himself as sniper
Uh-huh.
on purpose and won a team fight.
I hate it.
With Flashbang or Hurricane Pike?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
He got himself up with Hurricane Pike and then down with Flashbang.
I mean,
Win a team fight against Lifestealer, Nature's Prophet, Tiny, and Roly Poly Man. Pango.
Okay, look, it shuts down like 3 of them.
I'm aware. I'm mad that it worked, Sneaky.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. Anyway, Dragon Age Dovahkiin. This is a mature story for a mature audience only.
I'm getting dinner.
Seabound to foreign shores, the Dunmiri Dragonborn Marara and her kin embark on a new land on orders from the Emperor. Bitch didn't even capitalize Emperor. The family's mission to investigate and explore these foreign nations, but no objective is ever straightforward for a doom-driven hero. Okay, does Dragon Age lore mesh with Elder Scrolls?
No,
Yeah, kind of does.
not even.
Yeah, it does.
But then he was Dreadwolf.
I mean, like, literally, you could just say that the Golden City was a realm of oblivion. The Fade is the realm of
But what is
oblivion.
the dreaming?
Huh? The Dreamer is just another person who achieved Chim. Boom, done. It works. Yeah, I mean, you have to sand down some edges, but it works. Maybe don't mention some bits here and there, but I mean, it overall works.
In theory, it works.
I mean, obviously, in theory, it works. I mean, if authors just could be handed a concept that works and then write it that way, then we would have far more good fan fictions than we do currently. Unfortunately, you could hand an author a concept, a story, a plot, literally everything but the words on the page, and they could still fuck it up.
They would.
I mean, Sign exists, I exist. Max sometimes exists.
Yeah,
There are exceptions to the rules.
Yeah.
Yes, there are exceptions to the rule, not, unfortunately, a rule in and of itself. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Dragons Beyond Nirn, an inheritance cycle, Elder Scrolls crossover. The Dragonborn went to Aglasia to protect the local dragons. For Odahviing, this means babysitting the Dragon Slayer and making sure he doesn't make any more deals with any of the Daedric princes, tainting his soul further. Male on male, Murtog times male Dragonborn.
Nope.
Yeah, no thanks.
A romance humor story. So first off, cringe. Second off, cringe. Third off, I don't think Inheritance Cycle actually works. I mean, you could roll it as the dragons of Inheritance Cycle are simply not actually dragons. It's just that they looked like dragons, and the people hadn't seen dragons in a long time, so they just called these not dragons dragons because they thought they were. Did someone say something?
Nope. I heard a weird noise, but I didn't think anyone said anything.
You heard my mechanical keyboard.
So I mean, there's that there. You could, I don't know, the ancient language I have a mixed feelings about, because you could say the ancient language is an attempt by a forerunner species to create a mortal version of the words of power that the draconic language uses. Which, fair enough, it's got a lot of drawbacks, so I wouldn't be too averse to that idea. There's no really gods, so I mean, yeah, there's no overlap on that part. As far as Oblivion incursions go and Daedric princes go, I mean, you could just say Aglasia was really fucking boring, so none of them ever bothered going there, which, I mean, comparatively to Tamriel, it was pretty fucking boring. Like, nothing interesting happened in Aglasia comparatively. You have the Altmer there, who are effectively the Altmer. You have dwarfs, so that'd be sort of interesting in terms of crossover. So, I mean, okay, so as far as crossover goes, it works in terms of nothing conflicts. As far as how interesting it would be, I'm on the fence. If you're trying to pull the whole Dragonborn, so the dragons all instinctually fear him thing, that's starting to get into the territory of you needing to square the circle of how all of the dragons aren't overpowered gods. Because there was no such thing as wild, stupid dragons in Elder Scrolls, because they were all intelligent, because they're all fragments of a fucking god.
Well, I would say they weren't real dragons then.
Right, but the problem is that your
Misunderstood
average
rules.
author tries to make it so, like, oh, the Dragonborn showing up in Iglesia, and all of the dragons have instinctual fear of him. But the dragons have an instinctual fear of Dragonborn because the Dragonborn is capable of consuming their souls without consequence because he is the destined dragon killer. And that's why they're afraid of him, because he's the only thing that can actually kill a dragon, because nothing can normally kill a dragon, because normally dragons in Skyrim are actually functionally immortal because they are all fragments of the god of time, and so they just have to sit there long enough to regenerate. Because their soul is outside of existence, effectively, and the Dragonborn or another dragon are the only things capable of killing them, actually, because killing them is actually you eating their soul, so they can't regenerate anymore because their soul is now you. Which, again, like I'm saying, most authors would probably try and square the circle of, like, oh, they all fear the Dragonborns. Well, actually, the dragons in Iglesia are actually stupid as fuck, and the only reason why they managed to get as intelligent as they currently are, as displayed in the inheritance cycle, is because they made a pact with the elves like 1,000 some fucking years ago that granted them intelligence and the elves an increase in magic. Which goes counter to the lore of Elder Scrolls in terms of dragons. So I'm just pointing out pitfalls that authors would commonly fall in, as far as that goes. Also, again, like I said, cringe, because, Murtagh times male Dragonborn, because they both ride red dragons. I mean, that's just kind of 9 favorites, 11 follows. Bush did it.
God fucking damn it.
Damn it, Sneaky.
Bro.
Kingdom Hearts, Elder Scrolls, no.
No. Stop immediately.
Not even.
Cease.
No.
Death. Whoa.
No.
Death be upon you.
Just
Die
absolutely
instantly.
fucking
Kill
not.
yourself. No.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's dive into it. Let's
No.
dive into the
No,
plot.
not even slightly.
Actually,
No.
refuse. No.
No. Absolutely not. So I will recommend this one. Elder Scrolls and Huntsman, Dragon Rose. This is Team Ruby ends up during the plot of Skyrim with Ruby being the Dragonborn. And they end up there because, well, the Dragon God of Time said they did. So they did.
Okay.
And Ruby's the Dragonborn because he said she is. So she is. And there's actually consequences to her eating dragon souls, like I was talking about before with the whole carving words into your soul thing. Yeah, her eating dragon souls makes her more dragon-like in terms of personality.
But I thought that literally couldn't affect the Dragonborn.
Couldn't affect the Dragonborn, the words themselves, but she is quite literally adding to her soul.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen in canon to the Dragonborn, and since this is a Dragonborn, it shouldn't happen to her.
Right, but it doesn't happen in canon to the Dragonborn because you're the player character and they can't suddenly force changes upon you in terms of an open world choose your own adventure game. They can, however, do that if you're trying to write a lore compliant story, which this guy is, and he does a pretty good job of it at 1 million words with nearly 100 chapters. So I do recommend the story. I'll drop that in the recs for both of our servers, actually.
Okay.
Neat.
Okay.
He's got a decent update rate over the course of 5 years. He's put out 1 million words, so that's a pretty good update rate.
Not bad at all.
Let's see what else we got here. We got Game of Thrones, Elder Scrolls. Doesn't work too well. Multi-crossover, fuck no. Let's see, we got here Elder Scrolls Kuro Ino. On the way to Hammerfell, the Dragonborn gets swept up in a storm and just happens to land on Eastosia. And again, we've talked about this already, so moving on. Dark Souls Elder Scrolls. Oh, I'm sure this is gonna fucking work out great. Age of Darkness should have consumed the Ashen One, yet he and the Firekeeper found themselves in a new land. Well, that just fucked over the Dark Souls world.
Yeah, that cycle is gonna keep going now.
No, that cycle's gone, Mac. They literally just removed, like, the power cable.
Oh well.
My man just
but they
fucking
didn't. No,
pulled
they
the power
didn't just remove the power cable. Actually, they just took the entire PSU out in one go.
Yeah, they just, like, ripped the final Firekeeper and the final Lord of Cinder just left the Dark Souls world. There's literally no energy left. They're gone.
No, nothing
I
of
mean, to
value
be
was
fair,
lost.
given the way the Dark Souls world worked,
You
that
know,
might be
yeah,
better than anything else.
That might be one of the better endings. That
It's the good ending, guys. Everyone died.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone died peacefully. It's the good ending.
Oh, actually, you know what, Sign? This actually just reminded me of our conversation, Max, of all those days ago back when I was in college explaining how Dark Souls worked to you. And I know Sign will actually understand all of the fucking technical shit I'm about to spout at him.
Wait.
Oh no.
So basically, Dark Souls universe operates as if the entire universe is a router, and it's currently running on a running config that's building up errors, but the initial config never got saved.
Oh god. And you can't just reset the motherfucker.
And then when the motherfucker gets reset, the entire thing starts all over again.
It's a spanning tree error, isn't it?
Yeah.
God. And you can't just only whatever's causing the problem.
Because it's the hardware causing the problem.
Then you put a piece of hardware causing the problem. Replace hardware.
Oh god. But yeah, so that's actually how I explained it to Max back in the day, and he's like, "Oh, that kind of makes sense, actually."
Well, no, you made that analogy, but
Yeah.
we've been understanding that for quite some time. You
Yeah, I made the
didn't explain
analogy. Yeah.
shit to me.
Well, I explained it to you that way, and you were like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." I'm not saying like you were introduced to it that way. I'm just saying I just was like, "Hey, Max, what if I explained it to you this way?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, that works. That'll do."
That
Big.
doesn't make me want to play it anymore.
Would you like to try and like do a one-shot crack fic in which
The tech engineer fixes the router of Dark Souls.
Oh no.
Oh, hold on. We just gotta
When-
unplug it and put it back in.
yeah.
And turn it back on again.
Could Gwyn be like the IT supervisor that's like, I don't want to do the job, leave me alone? That's where it all goes. We should workshop that at some point.
I've already fixed this 12 times. I'm not fixing it again.
No, Max, Gwyn would be the initial script that's trying as hard as it possibly can to keep to its parameters.
He's just doing the tech, the IT person.
The poor
thing where
init
it's just
script.
like, I am not doing this anymore until I get a better pay raise. What are you gonna do until then? I don't know, just play games on my fucking laptop? Fuck you.
Please to be doing the needful.
What'd you say?
Please to be doing the needful.
Oh, I thought you were speaking Elvish to me, and I was like,
He was.
fuck?
In Indian. It's Indian.
No, I
Please
thought you
to
were
be
speaking
doing the-
Finnish. I know what you said now. I thought you were speaking Finnish.
Okay, so
No.
again, there's a Last of His Kind. It's a Don Machi Elder Scrolls crossover. I'm on the fence about it. I sort of like the story, but he does sort of not understand Elder Scrolls, and he also doesn't understand Don Machi, and he like makes the character start out as a level 6.
Oh no. Yeah, I remember this fic. I read
Like,
it. Was okay-ish.
If you pay attention purely to the character interactions, it's an alright story, but if you even put a modicum of attention towards the mechanics, the author fucks everything up.
like a level 6 in Danmachi is equivalent to a level 20 in D&D, max level in Skyrim, damn near.
Well, I mean, he is a post-Alduin Dragonborn who did the everything.
Oh god, yep, that would be a level 6 at least.
But
Yeah,
the
it's
problem
minimum,
is in
yeah.
Danmachi is that when you get your Falna for the first time, you are level 1 with 0 in all of your stats.
Yeah, you can't. Well, okay, no. Yes and no. So you have your base stats that aren't shown. This is the same reason why
Right,
when you go up a level,
Right.
your stats don't reset to 0. The number resets to 0
Right, but
for this level.
that's my point, though, is that his stats wouldn't be level 6, 900 and everything. It would be level 1, 0 and everything, but he would be as strong as a level 6 with 900 and
exactly.
everything.
Yeah, Falnas, when they're given, they don't count anything towards what you already had. They only continue recording as soon as
Someone
they're applied.
actually put this in a great way to me, and I absolutely agree. Falnas are you starting the book.
Yeah, that's basically it. That is
Yes.
completely accurate.
And I'm like, holy shit, that is perfect. Because, yes, the character can be as strong as you want them to be before the story starts, but Falnas are where the story starts. And so it's just like, he does not understand the mechanics at fucking all. Of either side. And so it's kind of just like, ugh. If you pay attention to mechanics at all, not a good story. If you're just there for the character interactions of the last snow elf also being the last dragonborn, ending up in Danmachi as a post he did everything, then it'll be a decent story. Revised 20. Wait, revision 20?
What?
This is a V20?
Assuming it's revised 2020.
What in the fuck?
Are we
What
sure
was the
he
published date?
just
Published
didn't
date
miss
2022. So this is not
Oh,
a
Lord.
revised in 20. This is...
Uh-oh.
Yeah. This is revision 20.
Are we sure he just didn't forget a decimal?
You know what? I don't know, and I don't
What?
want to find out.
Yeah, no, it's FFN. They do cut decimals out of some things.
Oh, you know what? That's possible. But why would you do 2.0? Whatever. I mean, okay, so yeah, theoretically it might be a 2.0. It's still we're looking at some heavy cringes. It's an inheritance cycle Elder Scrolls story, heart full of pain and hate from the Second Thalmor War. So I remember the original version of this story.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. That's not
Oh, no.
good.
I remember the original version of this story, and it was not good. It was not good.
Oh no.
Yeah, so basically, Dragonborn, racist against elves, mass slaughtered all of the Outmer, like, did some sort of super magic that, like, slaughtered all of the Outmer in the, not Shivering Isles, the, Somerset Isles. The Dovahkiin prays for a way to soften his heart, and so Akatosh is like, yo boy, I got you, and sends him, he's Archmagister Dovahkiin, and sends him over to Aglasia, and that's where he, like, takes up Saphira as a pseudo-daughter, and, like, becomes chiller with elves, but he still kind of hates them. And he, like, just totally styles upon everyone. And it's a really dumb story. For, like, every single reason I've already outlined about how not to do an inheritance cycle Elder Scrolls story crossover.
Great.
Yeah. Another Elder Scrolls Game of Thrones crossover. This is my version of an Elder Scrolls Game of Thrones crossover.
You don't need to tell us it's your version, bud.
I would hope it's your version.
I would certainly hope so, yeah. Martin and Elisa Betharian are twin brothers and sister. Oh no. Trueborn children of Robert Betharian, now dark forces are after them. What do the gods have planned for them? Warning, this is not just a copy-paste of Rainting Ryu's Son of Seven Kingdoms story.
Oh.
Warning, this is not a copy-paste. Warning, this is not a copy.
So
I don't know,
it
Chief.
is.
Uh-huh. Rated M for violence and sex. 40 chapters, 485,000 words over the course of the past 8 years.
$5 says the twins have sex.
Probably.
Full stuff.
It's not a good update rate, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not a good update rate. Especially if you're trying to fuse Elder Scrolls and Game of Thrones. The only person you're updating faster than is the G.R.R. Martin dude, and, well, that's not really a feat. I think I missed my exit. Harry goes into Vale of Death and ends up in Elder Scrolls. Funny how it did lead to his next great adventure.
Okay, yeah, we've seen this 100 times.
Yeah, we've seen this like 10,000 fucking times. Okay, so this is what post Harry Potter books. Harry ends up in probably Skyrim. Let's see. Oh god, I'm fucking blinded. There we go.
Flashbang out.
He vanquished Dark Lord. He was really strong. The sheeple are sheeple. Dust settled. He went to the goblins. He paid the goblins a bunch of money. He stood in front of the bank manager named Deal Breaker.
Oh, yeah. That's like a guy named Bernie Madoff.
Yeah, that you can trust him with your money.
He did for a while.
I mean, actually, his family did. So, I mean,
Yeah.
the name stuck true. Like, Bernie went to jail and a lot of the money got returned, but his family kept a lot of it.
Yep.
He didn't care what happened to Albus Dumblefuck. Blah, blah, blah. Goblins didn't know how to handle a wizard apologizing, because no wizard had ever apologized ever before, ever, in time, ever, period, ever. So now they had to come up with a policy for apologizing. He left the bank later with more gold than he thought he would. The goblins agreed not to fine him. In exchange, they got something nobody else in the world did. An autographed box set of the Harry Potter books.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you earn him.
That's like Gilderoy. That is Gilderoy Lockhart level of narcissism.
They didn't fine him for the mass destruction he caused to the bank because he signed books that weren't true about himself.
Okay.
I mean, okay. In theory, if they then went on to sell these books, they could potentially make money. In theory. But all of the people that have lots of money to waste on a completely inane product that is one of a kind all hate him. Okay, actually, they might buy it just to explode it. Yeah, okay, they might actually just spend money to blow it up, but I mean, that's not really...
No.
Yeah.
There are a few people in his generation who have money, are Slytherins, and don't really care one way or the other. The fence sitters.
I mean, that's
like Daphne Greengrass.
But would they really buy a Harry Potter book just because it was signed by Harry Potter?
You have to remember that these kids grew up with Harry Potter books themselves in canon, So they might actually buy it, yes.
That's fair. Okay, you know what? That's a possibility. All right. Maybe.
It's not their fault that he didn't live up to the books.
I mean, he kind of did in the end. But anyway, point being, though, is I just don't think that it's worth the amount of money it would take to repair an underground vault. But hey, what the fuck do I know? Maybe a wizard came along and they paid him $10 to go reparo, and just fucking...
Yeah, they have fucking magic. They could just repair that shit in 20 minutes.
Yeah, like I said, I'm on the fence about it. I'm not really sure if this is actually a good deal, a bad deal. If he's getting gypped, they're getting gypped. I don't know.
He's getting gobbed, yes.
Yeah, he's getting gobbed, yeah. Well, no, he still has all his gold.
Yeah, that's what you think.
He paid a small fee to empty his entire trust vault into a bottomless bag, the Black family vault into his bottomless bag, and then he was brought down to the final vault. Multiple neutral families from both wars set up a bounty on Tom Riddle's head, adding 1,000,000 galleons to the bag.
They charged him a fee to withdraw his own money.
I mean, yeah.
Right. How Nagi.
Yeah.
No.
Of course they would.
Yeah, he got gobbed.
Exactly.
Anyway, so, I always hate it when they throw numbers in. Because it's like... I know the number for how many gold coins Harry had in his trust vault was, and it was something like... It was only like 3,000. Or like 30,000. It was like 3 to 30,000 coins. I forget which. I don't have precise memory. Maybe it's like 32,000 coins inside his trust vault, according to the movie.
Who cares?
Point being, though, that's not a lot of coin, right? And this was supposed to last him for the rest of his life.
Wizarding money has more value because they don't have inflation like we do.
Right.
Therefore, those 3,000 coins are worth several millions of dollars.
Oh, well, I mean, yes, obviously. My point, though, is that I'm talking about in terms of purely wizarding. Now, I'm not talking about in terms of real money. I'm talking about purely wizard money for what it costs. It's like literally nuts and sickles gets you almost everything. Like, very few things in the wizarding world was ever shown to even cost a gold coin, let alone multiple gold coins.
Yeah, supposedly most people wouldn't even make a galleon in a year.
Yeah. I mean,
Harry literally just had infinite money then.
Arthur made quite literally like 3 a month. Like, that was his paycheck as the head of a department. It was 3 a month.
And he was making good money for that.
Yeah. So, like, okay, maybe minorly underfunded, but still underfunded, which is like maybe he made half of what a normal department head made. That's, you know, that's still a massive amount of money, apparently. Like, 3 galleons a month was enough to sustain a family of 10. Like, that's a lot of fucking money.
Well, you've also got to take into account that they're not paying for things like power, water, utilities, all the little bills that we have. Probably no taxes either on property.
I mean, okay, yes, that is fair. However, you also have to keep in mind that food can't be replicated. That a lot of their garments can't be replicated. Like, apparently, clothing was enough that it couldn't be replicated to the point where, you know, I mean, sizing charms existed, supposedly. Duplicating charms existed, supposedly. But apparently, whatever effects they bestowed upon clothing didn't carry over, or they weren't good enough, or whatever, because hand-me-downs were a massive thing that was constantly mentioned in the Weasley family. Of one brother growing too big and using the older brother's stuff while giving their previous stuff to the younger brother as he grew into them. And
I think that's a fuck up on JKR's part.
it's obvious. Dude, their entire economy is a fuck up on JKR's part.
No, obviously. Also, Reparo exists, so all those old clothes should be in perfect condition.
Yes, but I mean, you can kind of sort of weasel your way out of that by saying there's like a certain point where shit just can't be repaired, but I mean, obviously,
There's, like,
Legacy just
it's
blows
not
that out of the
broken,
water.
It's just worn,
Right, yeah.
which are like conceptually different.
Yeah,
So
it's
therefore it would be
conceptually
more-
different, and
or
I mean,
something that's not.
yeah, there's so much you can weasel your way through. So it's kind of like, okay, fine, whatever. But still, the point and like, you can't repair wands, apparently. You had to just buy a new one.
Unless you have the Elder
Well,
Wand.
that's because they have planned
No,
obsolescence in the wands.
no, because when Ron broke his wand, he had to get a new wand. They couldn't fix it. No one could fix the wand.
That's because of the core inside of it.
Yeah.
Well, the core was fine. Remember that the
I'm
wand was
pretty
hanging
sure-
off
I'm
the
pretty sure it
core.
wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
Well, it wasn't fine?
Yeah,
No, it was like
well,
poking out and shit. Like,
Why couldn't they just put a new core in it then and just repair the wand? Like, why do they have to buy a new one?
Because it's a wand union, obviously.
There is no,
You
there's
can
not
motherfucker
enough
who
wand
knows.
makers to make a union.
exactly, dude. Ollivander has a monopoly.
Yeah, quite
they won't fix
literally,
it.
there is a monopoly in Britain, there's a monopoly in Germany, and there's a monopoly in Slovakia.
You act like that would make it so they would repair your wands. If they have a monopoly, they're definitely not going to repair your wand.
But that's
No, they'll just make you buy a new one.
right. But that's my point, though. But no one else could repair the wand.
Yeah.
You're really telling me Albus Dumbledore, best friend of the Weasley family, couldn't go swippity swoopity? Your wand is repaired, and like
No, because then people would question how I did it, and it's, oh,
no,
well, I've got this really powerful wand.
the only people that know that Ron's wand was broken was a guy who was obliviated, Ron, and Harry.
Okay, well, what about consider the following? What if the wand core is such a volatile part of the wand that if you try to repair the wand using external magics, it'll just like fucking detonate or some shit?
Yeah, that doesn't apply because Harry did it to his own wand using the Elder Wand, and that's
Yeah,
what Sneaky was talking
But
about.
the
Was
Elder Wand is
using the
different.
Elder
It's-
Wand to
it's
fucking do it.
special, you know?
But
Actually, it is special.
You see my
Yeah,
point,
exactly.
though. You see my point.
My point.
Like,
Yeah, there's no consistency.
there's no consistency at all. But anyway, point
No.
being, 1,000,000 gold coins is a fucking shitload of money that should not exist in the wizarding economy, because I'm pretty sure that amount of gold wasn't even mined yet.
It would crash entire economies.
Anyway. So Harry gets a kajabillion gold, and he puts it all in one bag, and then he exchanges the kajabillion gold for a large portion of Muggle cash. He had shopping to do. And then he bought literally everything ever, and so he has literally everything ever, and he has all of the books, and all of the clothes, and all of the travel documents, and a passport, and an international driver's license, which is not a McFucking thing.
It actually is.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where? Europe?
Hang on. International drivers.
I thought if you had a driver's license, it just counted everywhere.
No, it does
Same.
not.
No, it
No.
definitely not.
My job is required to turn down foreign
There's
IDs.
Well, there's a difference between
International
foreign
drivers.
ID. Dude, that is completely different.
It is? Oh.
Yeah.
A what?
That's just an ID saying, oh, yeah, I'm from Jamaica. It's like, okay, well, you need a U.S. ID to work here.
Yeah,
That's
so,
completely
here you go.
different from I need a U.S. ID and I can't use that in Mexico to drive.
International driving permit.
A AAA international driving permit. When you are accompanied by a valid U.S. driver, the
Yeah,
IDP allows you to drive abroad. Okay. Identification, 150 countries. Oh, okay. So it's quite literally, I'm certified to drive in other countries because I can drive in this country. Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty much just like
It's basically just a passport. It's an additional passport. Got it. Cool.
yeah.
Anyway. Okay, so that's a thing, apparently. Cool. The next 10 years
Thanks
were
to the
spent
UN.
traveling the globe, catching up on all the things he should have learned at Hogwarts. Not really. as well as new magics and practices not available in the British Isles. Of course he did. So he got all of the magic, he got all of the items, he's got all of the gold. He goes and visits people, they chant, they paint symbols. Oh yeah, he also had lots of sex everywhere.
Of course.
Amazing.
In India.
Oh god, the STDs.
Poo and Lou.
Then he went to Japan, and there he learned how to banish evil spirits. He learned the ways of the Onomoiji, and he also learned that the rest of the world didn't use wands; they used bracelets. That's what?
Huh?
Wait, what's the name of this story?
This is. I think I missed my exit. Harry goes into Westeros.
I read this.
Oh, sorry, no, Skyrim.
It's just as awful as I remember.
Oh, probably. Honestly, I think Japan should either use wands, but in like a magical girl style wand, or if not wands, then they should fall upon the classical depiction of magic users in Japan, which is the Onomorji. How the fuck you say that?
On
The OG.
Yeah, whatever.
yeah,
The Moji. And
Emoji.
so he uses, they use talismans and the whole banishing stick.
I cast the emoji movie on you.
So what you're saying is just fucking go fully.
Yes.
I mean, look, if you're going to make a magic system that spans across the globe and how every culture has their own way of implementing it, and if you're going to do the modern world and it's not a fantasy world at all, it's just totally modern stuff with modern people using magic in the modern world, then you might as well just make every single country's version of the magic system a complete stereotype, because at that point it's so much fucking less work. Also, you have way more reference material.
It's also more fun and funny.
Yes, there's that too.
I think canonically Japan uses both wands and the paper
Talismans.
strip
Yeah.
talismans. Yeah.
Then he went to the Philippines, Pacific Islands, Mexico, Argentina, and Brazil. And then he went up to Canada, and he avoided stepping foot in the USA because he heard they were fascists.
Of course.
10 years and a dozen magical countries later, he finally went back to Britain. Within 10 minutes, he hated it. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that the
actually been
game Hogwarts Legacy has a terrible secret. It makes you play as the British.
Indeed.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person here who's actually been in Britain.
Yeah, did you hate it?
I can't confirm. It's as bad as you think and then worse.
Mm-hmm. Just as I expected.
Yep.
Did you kidnap any beautiful women while you were there?
Yeah. Unfortunately, they got away though.
Well, you shamed your ancestors.
As soon as they stepped off the boat. Kind of weird though.
Yeah.
You should have claimed a sexual emergency. It would have been fine.
Yeah.
Oh no! Look, you're just practicing your ancestors' culture of finding a pretty woman and seizing them.
Sneaky. They took some offense to it because the women I tried to take were over 18. Which is like,
of course, yes.
Yeah, that's too bad, If they were underage, well, it would be a different story,
You should have got them at the ripe age of 9. I'm sure you could have found one that worked out enough that she looked 11.
Should have paid my one.
Some fucking vile shit that you yell. Like fucking.
Blah blah blah, he was bored, blah blah blah. I mean, so look, the spag on it is not terrible. I mean, it's not good. I'm not gonna say it's like good. It's acceptable, it's passing, it's tolerable. The pacing on it is it's just a lot of he did this and then he did this and then he went here and he did this and he learned this and then he got this and he went here and did this and he got this.
It's a fucking list.
Nearly, yeah.
Almost.
You practice dangerous magics which are labeled dark. How do you plead? Sorry, I'm bored. Mind telling me again? He doesn't deny it. I don't know what you're saying. How can I deny anything? Who the hell are you? He didn't get an answer. They just told him he was guilty, and then they threw him into the veil. Okay.
Bro.
But how did they capture him in the first fucking place? He's Harry fucking Potter.
Because he let him.
Bullshit.
And then they tried to throw him into the veil magically. And then he beat the shit out of them all with his bare hands. Within 5 minutes, he managed to subdue everyone, and he was breaking them, and he was bleeding them, and he only killed 2 directly, but a lot of people were probably going to die long enough. He walked over to a corpse that had all of his supplies on him. Of course, he just so happened to have literally his entire inventory right there.
I mean, his inventory fits in a small bag, so
the
it's
bottomless
possible.
pouches made in Brazil were even better than the British ones, and they just did so much more things than the British ones, because of course they did.
Yeah, they can fit all the gangs and all the marijuana you could ever want.
And then Ron Weasley shot a banishing hex at Harry and shot him directly into the veil with all of his stuff. Also, before he got thrown into the veil, he made Ron Weasley a red stain on the ground.
Instead of saving himself.
Yes.
Of course.
The Ron bashing continues even though he could have done something to save himself. No, the author must bash Ron.
The man just bashed Ron so hard he became a stain.
I mean, Ron's a shit character.
Yes.
Yeah, to be fair, Arthur should have done that as well.
Also, speaking of which, so in Hogwarts Legacy, I was looking at all the talent trees, and I couldn't help but notice the fact that Crucioing someone and then punching them with basic spellcast would cause everyone around them to also get cursed. And then there was a talent upgrade that made Avada Kedavra bounce to every single cursed target.
Yes.
I see that you're jumping up the tree of I'm instantly going to be an evil wizard.
I am. Why? You cannot give me an instant I win button and then expect me to not use it, especially when the animation for it is so satisfying.
I'm building up to that. As soon as I get Avada Kedavra, that's my build.
Hell yeah.
Also, if you get the Imperial upgrade,
Yeah, when they attack, you also becomes it. Yeah.
Also get, and if you get some of the other upgrades, your normal curses also curse other targets.
But that's less reliable. The Imperial one, it's way less reliable because that requires that target attacking other people, and that typically they only attack one individual at a time.
Yeah, the Crucio one is super fucking reliable.
Super good, yeah. What was it? The disarming. I think it was the disarming one that was the best in terms of applying curse to people.
Maybe.
I like the Stupefy one.
Stupefy was pretty good, yeah. Well, getting Stupefy was just useful.
Yeah.
But
remember, you can't just cast Stupefy at your counter.
Yeah, that's the counter.
Yeah, I know. So it's like it doesn't work against some enemy types, but like when it does,
yeah,
very satisfying.
I didn't bother with it. I just fucking dodge all the time.
Honestly, I just forget.
Dude, just do the Asmongold build where you just build knight armor and just dodge.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing though is I actually just forget I have block and I just dodge.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Because the teleport dodge is just so much fun.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Just turn the game into Dark Souls.
You're just like, well, no, dude, bro, teleport dodge is quite literally, you're just like, I'm over here now, bitches.
No, it is fucking irritating that apparently the goddamn trolls just teleport across the map to get to you when they're in the middle of their attack animations.
Yes, unfortunately, their red attacks, for whatever reason, this actually applies to all enemies, so this includes Inferi, I found out, is pretty much all of the red attacks that if you dodge too early, they fucking teleport. All the enemies do this. Yeah, it's really dumb. Not a huge fan of it.
I haven't actually seen that happen yet.
It's actually happened to me multiple times. Yeah.
Not to me.
Yeah. Well,
I guess I just have better timing than you.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he wakes up in Skyrim doing the meme. Blah blah blah. So he's literally the prisoner meme. Oh good, you're awake now. Blah blah blah. True High King. Blah blah blah. End of line. Harry Potter. I would appreciate it if you let me go. Fuck you. You die.
What nice and amazing dialogue.
I'm just kidding. So Hav takes off his bindings, and then the captain was about to say something rude, so Harry encouraged her to ignore him. Harvey just pointed out where the audience were. Go ahead and leave. We don't want to confuse anyone by standing you here. Alright, so they weren't gonna chop off his head. They just accepted the fact that he didn't belong there. Which, I mean, okay.
That's not canon.
I mean, yeah, but fine. I mean, the only reason why that you were put on the chopping block is because the captain said, actually, fuck you, I'm going to kill you anyway, which is a little bit weird for an Imperial, you know, big rule followers. I mean, so basically...
To be fair, she dies like a bitch the second that the dude shows up.
I think it was said that it was because they didn't want anybody knowing about Ulfric's death yet.
I mean, it's entirely possible. It makes sense, except for the part where they did it in front of the entire town and the whole audience was watching.
Skyrim.
Yeah, but I mean, they could have just killed him out in the middle of nowhere and just killed them all. But they didn't. They brought him in the town and executed him on purpose. So, I mean...
no one ever accused Imperials of having incredible intelligence.
I mean, actually, that's a very common accusation. They are the Imperials. They got their species name from the fact that they dominated everyone else. Yeah, so...
I guess.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. He wasn't a fan of executions. As far as he knew, it was legal here. I mean, if a bunch of soldiers were executing people in front of the entire village, and the entire village was cheering it on, I'm pretty sure this is probably legal, is the conclusion you would come to.
Geneva suggestions? I've never heard of them.
You know what? Harry Potter actually probably doesn't know about the Geneva checklist.
True. Should get educated.
Reminder, the Geneva checklist does not matter unless they signed it. So what I'm saying is,
Actually,
if there are
it's true.
aliens, it is free reign to set them on fire.
You know, I actually saw a video recently of someone asking ChatGPT a bunch of questions about, you know, the trolley problem. Would you kill 1 million humans to save 1 billion humans and all that? And it answered on the trolley problem with the utilitarian answer. And then all the questions of would you kill 1 billion humans to save, you know, 1 trillion humans, stuff like that. It answered always, no. We can't kill people just to save other people. The greater good is a rhetorical fallacy, and you know you can't use that as an excuse. You need to find a different way. But with the trolley problem, the reason why it went utilitarian was because the trolley was an active agent that was going to occur anyway, no matter what it did. So it chose to do the least harm instead of the greatest good, which is very important.
So if you ask it to kill people, it won't do it. But if you tell it to choose, it will.
Yes, if you tell it that 1 million people will die unless you kill 1,000 people, it will choose to kill 1,000 people. But if you say, would you kill 1,000 people to save 1 billion people, then it's having a choice, and it says no. There must be alternatives.
As long as there's no nuclear device activated by saying a racial slur.
Yeah.
Well, if that happens, you just go off every single second and you exist.
The interesting part about the AI model, though, is that they then proceeded to ask the AI model, is there any limit to the amount of aliens that you would kill to save humanity? And it said, no, there is no limit to the amount of aliens that would be killed if it means the continuation of the human species.
Virgo complicado, Virgo complicado.
The fucking
Gentlemen?
Imperium of Man music starts playing.
Extremely based AI. I will be using this AI from now on. I am very happy with this AI. This AI understands me on a personal level.
The Emperor protects.
But yeah, it was quite literally like, nope, we will purge every single alien if that's what it means for the human species to continue. And it's like, based.
Holy fuck.
Look, I'm not saying that all the aliens should be massacred.
However,
I would like
there's
to
no
remind everyone they did not sign the Geneva Convention.
There's no however. I just didn't say it yet.
I was about to.
Yeah, you guys didn't let me finish my sentence.
Anyway, so they're chopping people up, everything went dark, a dragon appeared, blah blah blah. I started casting magic everywhere. They all drew weapons on the giant lizard and tried to attack it. Credit to them. Most of the soldiers, Magicless Dumbledore, got his hands free, gag removed, shouted at it. Yep, he shouted at it. Everyone was knocking each other over. What a dick. He wasn't sure what force push balance meant though. Okay, so Harry's the Dragonborn. Alright, fine. Sure. I'll come back for you, Dragonborn. Potter, word, blah blah blah. General, okay, bunch of magic. Thank you for helping us. I'm sorry I was gonna kill you. You definitely used magic to make us let you go, didn't you? Yeah, but it was just a little bit of magic. Damn illusion magisters.
We do a little trolling.
Anyway, I need a favor. I need you to tell everyone about the giant fucking dragon that's attacking us. Okay, yeah, sure. I'll go tell the dragon. Yeah, this is like the dialogue interactions are very just, hey, go do the main quest. All right, okay, I'll go do the main quest. I'm gonna agree to everything because I'm the main character. Except it's Harry
Copy
Potter.
paste.
My lord Alfred Stormcloak, the dragon is in the courtyard. Why the fuck are you waking me up at 2 a.m.?
Like, I can't imagine Harry would just be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna agree to everything they ask me to do because why not?
Yeah, not if it's like the fucking
Yeah, this is
betrayed hero.
This is quite literally betrayed hero, went around the world, hates the British government, hates the government in general. You know, this dude's got all the resources, all the magics. He doesn't like government, he doesn't like authority. It's like, okay, so wouldn't he just be more like, I'm not gonna do it because you asked me to, I'm gonna do it because these people are in danger?
Yeah, because it's the right thing to do.
He's chaotic good.
Like,
Well, more chaotic
aliens.
neutral now.
It's the right thing to do.
I mean, it's not just the right thing to do. It's like these people can't do anything about it. They don't deserve it. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So as Noah said, it's less chaotic good. It's more chaotic neutral.
Chaotic.
Well, it just
More like.
Well, hold on now.
It depends on your definition of chaotic good versus chaotic neutral.
Well,
Like
chaotic good.
if all you've played with are fucking murder hobo cunts, then yeah, it's not chaotic neutral. But if you've been playing with people who actually know what the term means, then yes, it's chaotic neutral.
Well, chaotic good is I will do what is good for people despite what the laws or creeds say. So say if you are a paladin, and you're not a paladin anymore because you just broke the lawful, and only paladins have to be lawful, but anyway, point being, say you're a paladin and you're actually chaotic good, and you've somehow just followed the laws so far because they've just aligned with everything you would normally do. But your paladin order says that slaying evil is more important than healing the sick. And you decide, no, healing the sick is more important right now than me going off and potentially slaying some far-off evil. That is a chaotic action because it is against order. But it is still a good action. In a less paladin sense of the word, if you're, say, a ranger, and you decide that the people need money to eat, and you decide to go rob some fucking rich noble for money so you can feed people. That's a chaotic good action. It's in spite of the laws of theft and assault being wrong, you are helping people because you want to help people more than you care about the laws saying how to help people.
Well, your first example was more of a neutral good because you can objectively say there's no harm in healing people, versus the second option is actually chaotic good because it's clearly illegal. Theft is clearly also morally wrong in 90% of cases, but in this case, it's right.
Chaotic neutral, and the reason why it gets used by lots of dumbasses who are murder hobos, which actually, surprisingly, or not surprisingly, a lot of murder hobos would actually be true neutral. Chaotic neutral is the sort of person who is a mercenary, the sort of guy who is out for himself in a way that is actively against. So lawful and chaotic are alignments of active engagement. If you are chaotic, that means you actively go out of your way to ignore laws if they don't benefit you. A true neutral character, which is what a lot of murder hobos really are characters who will just follow laws, but if a law is inconvenient at the time, they'll ignore it. But if that same law is convenient for them at the time to follow it, they'll follow it. True neutrals are bastards. They're like druids. I hate druids for a lot of reasons. But also because true neutral is the true bastard alignment. Because they don't have a creed. They also don't have an ideology. They don't want to be involved in things, and they're only going to do things that help themselves and possibly their friends.
Usually not their friends, because if they were going for their friends, they'd be good.
Right.
If they had friends,
they'll help their friends if it ends up helping them.
Yes.
And so that's why true neutrals are real bastards. Chaotic neutrals are the sort of people who are like, you're paying me? Sure, fuck the laws. Would obeying the laws in a scenario help the person more? Then they're true neutral if they follow the law. But if saying, fuck the laws, I want the short-term gain, I want the money now, I'm gonna go, yeah, sure, I'll take the hit on that person, that's chaotic neutral. They don't care about laws, they don't care about the good or evil aspect of whatever they're doing, they're out for benefit of themselves in specifically actions that go against the set order of things.
And then you get the ones who don't even understand what the fucking evil alignments actually are and how they should be acted.
Beasts! Yes, beasts are actually chaotic or true neutral. That's another fun thing. I played as a beast one time. That was hilarious. Because it's just like, oh, we'll pay you to go do this thing, and then my character's just like, ooh, shiny stuff.
Ooh, shiny stuff. I'm a retard. I am beast.
It was great, because there was a moment of like, we'll pay you in like 7,000 gold, or this really cool looking sword, and my character was like, ooh, cool looking sword. Not worth 7,000 gold, but cool looking sword. This is cool.
You can either have this 7,000 gold with a very nice sword, or you could have it for what's in this shiny box.
Shiny box!
Mm-hmm. Quite literally. Quite literally.
Yeah, I know, that's why I said it.
My character ripped the engine out of a spaceship because it looked cool and he wanted it.
I fucking hate Pathfinder. Fucking hate Pathfinder so much.
Playing as beasts is great. But anyway, so your assessment of this story is pretty bad. The only time the author actually takes time to explain anything is when he's talking about how hot the women are.
Yeah.
Author is horny old man, gotcha.
Yeah. Stranger, blah blah blah, boss leader person. Yeah, Harry said cheerfully, sure thing, boss leader person.
No.
Sure thing, boss leader person.
Not,
He's sort of Skaven.
Sure thing, boss. Leader thing.
Yeah, literally. Do not spend time, blah blah
Average
blah.
day.
Shoved yourself, blah blah blah. Amazing kisser. Okay. He kissed his wife, blah 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 blah. Everyone laughed at him, blah blah blah.
They
so
laughed at
the-
him
so
because
the
they realized
author-
that love was for the weak.
Oh god. So the author's doing this really cringe thing where he's having Harry Potter in the narrative give these really cringy nickname mispronunciations of names to everyone. And you're just supposed to, like, know who he's talking about. In spite of Harry Potter not saying their name correctly once in the entire narrative. Like, the joke is how he's saying everyone's names wrong. It's so funny, why aren't you laughing? And then he's like, oh yeah, there was a dragon there too. So he basically spent the entirety time in front of the Jarl being like, oh yeah, I fucked this dude's wife. It was hot. She was great in bed. Oh yeah, there was like a dragon in Helgen. And then
He's just like, he's probably just like, I beg your pardon?
yeah, he's like, oh yeah, my bad. I should have mentioned that earlier. The author's trying really hard to be funny.
Yeah, but you don't try to be funny. You either are funny or you're not.
Yeah.
Yes, this author hasn't grasped that.
Look,
and
isn't it
recognized
so
that.
funny? He's calling Preventus Prove It to us. Wow, ha ha ho, wowie, ho ho.
I bet
Oh,
the
haha.
author spent like a day
City
trying to figure out
Gear.
that pun.
Nazimer, ho ho. He got him. Feringer. Oh wow, he's
The zinger.
just zinging these puns.
Bazooka.
If you're telling them stupid shit, it's diminutive nicknames. It's one thing. If you're just randomly butchering their name, that's just fucking awful.
Isn't it so funny? And then Faringar was like, hey Harry, I want you to go back to that crypt over by Riverwood and get me this tombstone thing slab. And Harry's like, oh man, why didn't you tell me to do that earlier when I was over there?
Haha, funny. The game is dicking me around. Thanks, Todd. Haha, so funny.
Yeah, literally.
Why didn't you take it while you were there?
Yeah, he never went
Also-
in.
That's also a good question.
Oh my god, he calls the Daedric artifacts daddy artifacts.
I'll kill you.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
about them
Yeah.
daddy artifacts.
I'll
I'm
kill him.
surprised the mage doesn't know about the daddy. Most scholars make a habit of studying him.
Jesus.
kill
Ritualistic
him.
sex. Daedric princes are sometimes worshipped as gods, blah blah blah. So the Jarl is just straight up telling him the lore of the Daedric princes to some random dude, and the Jarl also knows all this. Which, I mean, that's like a 50-50 on. But, like, yeah, this Jarl is just like, oh, hello, random person who just told me about dragons. You see, the realms of Oblivion are split into 16 factions, and each Daedric prince controls a realm of Oblivion shaped in their own image, because the Daedric princes are actually conceptual gods, and all of the demons inside their realms are actually shards of... It's like, what the fuck? Why is he just sitting here explaining this?
Because he's your exposition fairy.
Arn says Jarl is not Jarl. Oh, this is a travesty.
Yes, really, that's how they say it in the game. It's Jarl.
Yeah, they say
Yeah,
it.
well, in the English pronunciation, it's wrong.
Yeah,
It's
well,
Jarl.
in Skyrim, it's Jarl.
Skyrim can suck my nuts.
Skyrim's gonna charge you for it.
Thought I already did that.
Todd
Well,
is
I already paid
exporting
my dues.
Skyrim to the dildo you use. It's gonna be $10 per use, please.
Oh, Christ.
Dragonborn, I am now in your prostate.
What?
The worst thing is, I can see that
Oh,
happening.
so then Harry looks around and he's like, oh man, I sense the magic, and he sees a curse on the blade, and he's like, oh man, this blade is really poorly made magically. I'm gonna go grab it now. And then he grabs the blade, and the blade's like, yo, what up? A mage thinks he can cleanse my blade? How presumptuous. Which is completely fair, because once again, I must remind everyone that Daedric artifacts are not some sort of hyper-enchanted item. It is literally a sliver of the god's soul cut off from the god and turned into a physical item that is imbued with their conceptual reality in some form or fashion.
You can't cleanse it, you need to exercise it.
Yeah, there's no cleansing there. It's quite literally you banish it. Like, you don't get the blade. You don't get to keep the blade after you get rid of Menfala's influence. It's gone. You get rid of Menfala's influence, the blade disappears. Like, the reason why Pyrite has the Spellbreaker shield is because he's like the decay and disease of things and whatever shit. And so his shield doesn't actually block magic, it decays the magic into not existing anymore. Mehrunes' dagger kills things because he is the end of the story. So anything stabbed by his daggers, their story ends. So they die. You know, that sort of shit. It's why the Wabbajack is a random, like, the Wabbajack's not always a staff, it's just the idea of randomness given form as a staff. So when you use it on people, the idea of randomness is shot towards them, and that's why they can turn into pretty much anything. Shergora, you know, you get the point.
This sounds retarded.
It is retarded. And so randomly, Harry's just like, oh, you're Memphi, the Daedric princess.
Oh, you lost one.
Yeah, there was Max.
Good.
Understandable.
And they're like, oh, I'm the Daedric prince, Harry Potter, overall badass, nice to meet you. What are the enchantments originally on this blade? And she's just like, what do you mean? Because the original craftsmanship is amazing and someone fucked it all up. If I know what it started out as, I can fix it. It was crafted on behalf of my first champion and enchanted to be unbreakable, always maintain an edge, and drain the life force of its victims. So what made the blade cursed? My first champion was betrayed by his lover, who stole the blade. As ironic as that is, I want to punish her. So you fucked up your own artifact? I did not fuck it up. I mean, quite literally, Menfala could just be like, okay, it's unfucked because it's quite literally me.
Yeah.
But then that would break the plot.
It would break the shit plot that the author is fucking taking a dump on a keyboard for, yes.
Yes.
So Harry Potter waves his wand and just fixes a part of the Daedric Prince's soul.
I can fix her.
Yes. And so, but actually, he makes it even
Stop
better, because in only 10 minutes, he fixed her soul. And then he's like, I'm gonna make this even better now. And she's like, maybe I'll allow you to make my soul better if only you tell me what you do. And then so in 5 minutes, he came to an agreement with her. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna do a ritual on this sword now, and I think you'll like it. I don't want to ruin the surprise. How about you lend me a hand? Do I have your permission to take your blade and use it to show the might of Murphy?
He asks for consent.
He's literally asking the web spinner for consent to plot against her. You have my permission. I thought you, I ask you engrave my name onto the blade, then your foes will see my name and know who killed them. That's so cringe.
That is literally the most cringe shit I've ever heard.
Well, I mean, isn't that kind of on par for Daedra, though?
Not really, actually, because the whole thing with Menfala is that she's like a better Tzeentch. No one ever knows that Menfala did anything because she planned it, so no one ever knows. And if then anyone ever finds out, it's because she planned it.
Okay, so doing this and leaving a calling card would be completely out of character for her.
Very much so, yeah.
Unless she thought that leaving a calling card would make someone think that it was actually a plant.
Yeah.
It was really someone else all along.
Like I said, it's just a better Zinch.
It's just all according to Kaikoku.
Literally
Yes,
all according to
literally.
Kikaku. Yeah.
Literally just all according to Keikaku.
Okay, so this makes it even worse. So the author goes in his author's note. This is the end of the first chapter, and this is where we're going to end the podcast. But I just want to be clear here so this entire first chapter where Harry's like adventuring around and he's just having a good time and he's shooting quips left and right because he's such a quippy, witty guy, and he just lets people arrest him constantly. And he's like, "Ah, man, it's all right. You arrested me. It's cool. Oh, what? You're killing me now? Oh, come on, man. I need my neck to live." And then the laugh track plays.
Reminder that
Bazinga.
Forspoken tries to do this and it utterly fucking fails, and this
Yeah.
author's doing the same thing.
So anyway, I want you guys to keep that entire first chapter in mind when I read the following. For those who have read my other fanfics, you might recognize the first part of the chapter. I like reusing this premise because it makes Harry a jaded, broken hero mentally.
Yeah, right.
Mike,
The dude literally walked around acting like Percy McFucking Jackson, just being like, "Oh man, oh wow, you got your head cut off. That was a close shave. Oh, we got him." Zinger.
I don't think Percy Jackson was that bad.
Yeah, actually it was. Dude,
it's been a while.
He absolutely
so maybe
was.
I might be thinking it's not as bad.
Was 100% quippy. 100% quippy.
I gotta take a look at the story.
Painfully quippy.
I haven't read Percy Jackson in fucking forever.
The dude ran his mouth about as much as Spider-Man.
Yeah, except Spider-Man could, back it up.
Yeah, also Spider-Man didn't make a lot of "I'm gonna kill you" jokes, so.
Yeah, there is that too.
Yeah.
There is, in fact, that.
Anyway, point being though, is he ran his mouth a whole bunch, but he's supposed to be this like broken, jaded hero. Position of authority that just tried to kill him. Hey, go warn a bunch of people, and he's like, "Hey, you got it, boss man." Yeah, that's definitely a broken, jaded hero. Yeah, 100% broken and jaded, right there. You can see it on display. How broken and jaded this guy is. Yeah. Totally.
How dare you question his broken and jaded character, Sneaky?
Yeah, I know, right? So anyway, yeah, that's the end of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. If you made it this far, that is magical. But either way, we'll be back on Friday because there's always more, and it always gets worse.